Alright, I'm a promo.
All right, we should be
like a
live.
shit ton.
So there we go. We are live on time.
shit.
I was gonna start regardless. Like it's on time. We are punctual. We've been here waiting, and I worked hard to make sure this was set up through 3 crashes on Streamlabs. What is up, everyone? Let Lucas or Vexus should introduce us. He's really good at it.
Hey, what's good? Cody goated for real, for making sure we're on time. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Vexus, the Lurking Legend, Rear Chadmiral reporting for Booty. I'm joined by so many goats tonight. I want to spit it to our guests really quick. We are joined by, thank you so much for joining us as well. We have the wonderful TREETHEWOLF joining us tonight. How are you doing, bro?
Not bad. Not bad.
Dope. Tell people where they can find you, and plug your shit real quick while I make links rain in a whole bunch of discords.
I got you. You can find me on everywhere at Tree the Wolf. I copped that username in middle school, and I've stuck with it. Somehow managed to catch it on everything. Primarily over on Twitch, where I play random games. I just played through the first 5 out of 7 stars of Mario RPG, the remake that dropped right before this, actually. Incredible
Fire.
game.
Dope. Yeah. Super glad to have you. Like I said, I've vibed in a few of your streams on Twitch myself, and I've seen you in some of the One Piece D&D stuff. So it's like to have you here. Another wonderful guest that we are having with us tonight. This guy has been basically day one with me since I entered into the community. One of the first names I ever saw, like vibing in live chats and in discords and stuff like that. We are joined by, I would say a close friend of mine at this point, Terrible TJ, aka the Little Garden. How are you tonight, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. I just want to say that was pretty sweet. And also, it's kind of distracted with Cody doing his dance moves in the background.
I was like hyping you up because you're underneath me in the Discord call, so I'm like giving you my energy.
I saw it. I saw it. I was taking it.
Gang.
Yeah, we're
gang.
super stoked to have you here, bro. Tell the people where you're at, where they can find you as well, and I'm
About your amazing TikToks and how nice you are.
Yeah, you can find me over on. You can find me on TikTok. Probably just search The Little Garden, and you'll find me on there. And then I run another account called Terrible TJ, which you guys probably know me by that name from YouTube. The Little Garden, I kind of just do One Piece only, and the other account I just do whatever. So feel free to check those out.
Hey, and yeah, I'll be making links rain for these goats in the chat, and I'll make sure they're tagged in the description and whatnot if you're catching the vibe. But yeah, we're super stoked to have you guys here. And then we've also got the resident Chadmirals themselves, the guy who is hosting the stream for us right now and being an absolute goat with his dance moves. A future G Fuel ambassador, hopefully. We've got SSJ8 Cody, the special grade sorcerer of the last arc. How are you, brother?
I'm so good. I woke up to a really good translation from TCB of JJK, so you know it's gonna be a great stream for me, baby. Let's go.
Hey, yeah, you're on Cloud9, and your TikTok popped off too. Make sure you guys check him out on Twitch and on TikTok, SSJ8 Cody, and you can always catch him cooking with us at the last arc. So glad that you're here and hosting for us tonight, doing the stream stuff. My internet is not about it. I'm gonna be real, but then we've also got we've got another Chadmiral, an absolute goat himself, joined by his young one apparently. But we have Grand Line Bound and TOA's own Captain Smokey. How are you, bro?
Hey, I'm Litty. Yeah, Litty. Litty, guys. Just here with my Joy Boy. He's making a lot of noise, but I'm here, man. I love these Chadmirals. And I'm here, man. I'm here to have some fun. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. Let's go.
I love that energy.
Chadmiral,
yeah,
Smokey Tora, baby.
Absolutely. And then last but very not least, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the W helmsman of the last arc, the guy who brought us all into the whole Chadmirals fold, and the guy who is one of my absolute best friends, and I got mad love for you. We've got Straw Hat Lucas. How are you, man?
Yay! I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing fantastic. I have to talk to Cody. I'm going to skip my introduction. Cody, I'm looking at the overlay here. What's the picture in the top right, brother?
What do you mean? Oh, there's some lore there. So, I mean, that's just lore.
That's for later.
You should use my big mom.
So that picture in the upper right is actual deep lore with me and Tree, if Tree wants to explain, but that's some deep Cody lore.
Tree, before you go, Smokey, we are using the Big Mom overlay, and he's added a picture of him doing what I can only describe as, what is it? That face?
A Hegyo
face.
I hate you. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Neither do I. In the right-hand corner, and apparently this is a canon event in Tree and Cody's timeline here, and I want to hear why.
Canon event? What do you mean canon event? It was like some of the best times of being a fuckboy.
Oh, that's fire!
I feel like I was going.
Fire.
I was going through like this weird time in my life where I was like, nothing matters, therefore, why not do anything? And Cody was like, hey, yo, you want to do this for me? And I don't know if you've ever seen those T-shirts with like the wolves looking off in different directions, howling at the moon.
Oh my god!
Yeah, those are my favorite.
I actually edited that image and made it.
Those are fire.
That's amazing.
Just because I could, and Cody said do it, and I was like, all right, yeah, sure.
Do it. That's beautiful. I love it so much. So
that was years ago.
I want to break the ice with everyone by asking everyone a question. Very generic, very basic question, but I want to cause a fight, if I'm being honest. I need to know the best theme song from any American series. It could be animated, it could be a live action television series. I don't care.
Oh, man.
Cowboy Bebop.
I'll go last. I'm swinging for the fences.
Oh, American. Oh, man.
Yes.
You said like it has to be an opening theme song, or is it like it's just any song? I do love.
I mean, I can open us up if you want. If nobody else has a.
I have one. It's bacon pancakes.
Wait, TJ, what's that, TJ?
Okay.
I thought you said something.
I started lagging, but I was gonna say Pokemon. That's probably like most iconic one.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
No one was.
I mean, so like, I got mad respect for it because I definitely vibed it like
it's
hard and then nostalgia wise. But I'm gonna go ahead and go for quality. Despite the nostalgia goggles, this holds up so much still to this day, and I will die on this hill. Darkwing Duck.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
DuckTales.
When there's trouble, you call DW, bro. Like,
DuckTales.
they were cooking, bro. Like.
TJ, Cody.
Well, another I would say is probably like Teen Titans is pretty up there.
Oh yeah.
Excellent pick, yeah.
Excellent choice.
Cody, what about you, bro?
From Western animation,
it doesn't have to be animation. I don't think. Like just any
Western theme song, basically. Yeah.
Like 90210 with the
no. Oh my goodness! Stop! No, I had it on the tip of my tongue, and then you have to do that dumbass stuff. Got me fucked up. Oh, I'm sorry. Is 3 days still here? I didn't say that. To bleep that out. Button. Where's the button? 30-second undo. Rewind. Will Smith. It's rewind time.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to 3 Day in the chat being an absolute goat. That's our navigator at the last arc, and we would be lost without her. We love you.
Love you, 3 Day. Queen of the Pirates.
I made it almost 10 minutes, guys. That was pretty good though. Like
I started this stream saying "oh shit, brother." Like,
well, you actually that wasn't even your first F-bomb, Cody. You already dropped one.
What?
I swear.
I'm getting better at it.
I swear, dude. Roll the tape. You already did.
Dude, I think I am until I get on Chadmirals. And I'm like,
yeah. Chadmirals is lit. That's why.
Chadmirals brings out a demon in me. But Western, I was thinking like the one where down the street, because that 70s show, the same old thing, a different street, like shout out Wisconsin.
Okay.
Not a thing.
hate Wisconsin.
Dude, we're all right. That's my jam.
You guys are missing out on the peak that is the Golden Girls theme song.
Oh my goodness.
Never would.
No, but if we're going from like that whole era, you gotta spit it to Full House. That whatever.
Full House.
The milkman, the paper boy.
Bringing back memories.
Everywhere you go.
Yo, shout out to my guy JJ.
JJ's in the
OPU
chat.
That's my guy. What up, family?
Got that OPU.
Got that OPU energy up in here.
Your boy.
Oh my goodness.
That is awesome, JJ.
Yeah, we're getting twice the watch time from this guy. He's a real homie. Like, also make sure you guys like these stream and share with all your friends.
And go check out OPU One Piece University every single Thursday at 8:30 on Marshall D. Preach's channel. They are cousins of TLA. That is their podcast. And you can come on Friday and watch us here on Chadmirals, where we rarely talk about One Piece, but it's okay because we love you guys.
Love you guys. We always love you guys.
I think I have my answer.
Oh, yes, DQ.
Danny Phantom.
Oh my God, yes! Yo, Danny Phantom, he was just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine. It was designed to see a world unseen. He's got to catch them all. See, Danny Phantom.
It's just, it's
I
good.
definitely vibe.
As an old emo kid, I have to I think maybe Total Drama Island and the Nana part, like the Nana, itches a part of my brain.
Okay, hold on though. If we're going all the way back, you gotta spit it to Kim Possible, bro. Like,
the Total Drama Island gives me that mindset I have right now. I wanna be famous.
If you're going that era, though, oh my God, I just had it. It was on the tip of my tongue. Then Cody started singing the banger that is the Total Drama Island. Oh, what's the Scooby-Doo? Coming after you.
We're gonna stop.
Oh man, hold on. You guys gotta. You remember the
plan, right?
Yeah, Simple Plan.
It was. Yeah. But no, you remember the Zombie Island movie with that?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I like the Hex Girls.
You guys ever watch the Simpsons movie? Green Day did the opening for that.
And then they go down like the Titanic, and Billy Joel's like, "Get it on and playing with you tonight," and pulls out a violin and just goes for it. Oh, it's so good. So good.
What about the South Park theme? That's one of my favorites. Is the South Park.
Primus killed it, bro.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Boondocks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You say Boondocks?
Mm-hmm. Boondocks.
Yeah.
Boondocks. The individual.
I don't know anybody that doesn't like Boondocks that watches it. Everybody that watches it is just like everybody loves it. I have never heard a bad review about Boondocks.
I wanted really to get Tree on here to spit with Lucas, and I want to transition this in the smoothest way possible with the worst impression ever. But what do you think about Metal Gear?
Metal Gear Solid. Okay, so for me, I never go past the NES games, or if you're gonna rip them onto a computer, you can do that legally, guys. Buy them legally. But the NES games or computer ports. So Metal Gear 2, and then I always go through the PS, and then Metal Gear 2, and then Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and I've never played past that. But I love them. They're good.
3 is fire.
Dude, 3 is fire.
Listen, 3 is in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I cried on stream when they announced Delta.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
The whole Solid Snake, everything was just goated in that game.
But you just said to me that you've never played 4 or Rising.
Neither have I.
I've seen a lot of
Rising is like
4 and 5, and I'm just it just didn't seem appealing to me.
So
4 was amazing, bro.
4,
oh my God,
4 is
I spent hours, bro.
Oh man,
I've never played Metal Gear. I've only played Death Stranding. And I was like, yo, maybe I'll check out these games one day. But then I saw Dylan's reaction to be like, you've never touched a Metal Gear, man? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to keep that.
You have
a
to
game
play
of
through the
patience.
shitty NES games, though. You have to play through the shitty NES
No,
games.
don't play the NES games. Those aren't canon. You have to play the MSX versions.
Yes, that's I could not remember which console it was for. Yes, thank you. You have to play the MSX versions.
So for frame of reference, I've played and beaten every Metal Gear game except for Metal Gear 2 on MSX and Peace Walker.
Peace Walker, is that the GameCube one?
That was the PSP. I have
it. Was on GameCube as well, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it? Or
No,
was
that was Twin Snakes. That's a remake of the
Twin
first
Snakes?
game
Oh,
using
yeah,
the
yeah,
engine
yeah.
of the second, which is
Yes, yeah.
completely busted. The fact that you can like jump over railings and stuff where it wasn't intended in the like core design of the map layout allows you to really like do some shenanigans. No, I don't know. It's like Metal Gear Solid 4 is such a perfect ending to it's its own franchise's endgame per se.
Yeah.
And then, but you know, Endgame's not the end of that phase. Then you have Metal Gear Rising, and at the time it was very it split the fan base a lot, and like Hideo Kojima always tiptoed around whether it was or wasn't canon. And I was a hater. I'll say it. I hated it. I hated Raiden. Metal Gear Solid 4 didn't do enough for me. And when I finally went back to Rising after I had graduated, I was like, hold up. Was I just on this bandwagon to hate? Holy shit. But it's so good. It's so good. It doesn't deserve the hate it gets. And I don't know.
When they started bringing in the clones of Snake, or was that 3?
That's 1.
Well, yeah, technically, Cody.
That's Metal Gear NES.
Yeah. Well, that's Big Boss of the NES version, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
Big Boss is the final boss of the NES game. You're playing as Solid Snake.
Yeah, you're playing as Snake. Yeah, that's it. Metal Gear.
Oh
Solid.
God.
Snake.
No, I could pop off about Metal Gear, Kingdom Hearts, and Zelda. Those are like my 3 top series. Mega Man X is up there as well.
Don't you worry, dude. I've speedrun Metal Gear or Mega Man X4 so many fucking times. It's not funny.
Hold up, Straw Hat. I'll be right back. Oh my God.
I just blew his mind. TJ, how you doing tonight, though, brother?
I'm about to pop off. I'm doing good.
Doing good? Doing good? I'm gonna single you out because you said you were nervous before this. I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm joking. I'm not gonna do that. Like,
bro.
No.
Yeah, speak up. How about you tell me your hottest take on TikTok? What's your favorite thing about making content on there?
Ooh, just the fact
Brother,
that
you got me fucked up, man.
1 second.
1 second, Tree.
Just the fact that it's like super easy. You know, you don't have to take too much time to make the content. Even though for me, I take more time than other people because the way I make my content. But it's nice to just have that short form content, be able to upload.
Thank you. It's spitting fire. I love TikTok for accessibility.
Lucas, this one's for you.
Oh, dude, the best, dude. The best. Peak. And there's nothing beats running it on the original hardware either. Like
exactly.
That fluid feeling of the fucking the digital fucking PS1 controller. Oh.
I'd like to shout out Tachi D Spins in chat saying Otacon pissing himself is still one of the funniest moments in gaming.
Yes.
It's just like one of my Japanese animes.
Just like
you killed her.
I
loved her.
Bro. Way back before like Game Grumps was ever a thing, but like when Aaron was doing Ego Raptor shit on like Flash, and like I was watching like Metal Gear Awesome and like The Legend of Awesome and all that shit. Like that was one of the funniest things I had ever seen when I was like 13 years old.
Good old Ego Raptor Newground days. That's the best era of Ego Raptor, bro. I'm joking. Obviously, Game Grumps is his magnum opus. Like,
ooh, you want to start a fight?
Maybe.
I prefer John over Dan.
Ooh. My guy, Cody. I love JonTron. Yes, I know he said problematic things before. I know. But I love JonTron so fucking much, man. Every time he drops a new video, I'm like, I can't help it. I've got to watch it. And I laugh the entire time.
Well, I'm lost. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
It's YouTube again. He said, I'm lost.
I'm just
It's
like a
like deep
corner
in the
listener.
trenches of like old school.
So, TJ, what did you think of the most recent chapters in Wait Tree? You're caught up, right?
We're still in Kuma stuff, right? It was a break this week?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, what's
Then yes, I'm caught up.
Okay, yeah. What were your thoughts on like all this shit with Kuma, man?
Dad of the Year.
Dad
Sad.
Straight trauma.
Yeah.
Straight trauma.
It's just sad, man. Like, I don't. What else is there to say about it? I read it and I was like, nah, man. Like, they didn't have to do him like this. The whole yeah.
Yeah, we posted a poll in the Discord to see like who people were thinking had like the absolute saddest backstories. And I don't know if it's recency bias or if it's just factual, but pretty much like Kuma clean swept
Yeah,
it. Like
yeah.
absolutely clean swept
I
it.
think it's recency bias a little bit.
Yeah,
It's a
that is
little
true.
bit, yeah, because like
I
Law's
think if you give it
backstory
time-
is tragic as well. Like,
Yes,
dude,
exactly.
like
It was Robin's like living through an entire genocide. I mean, Law did as well, but
I don't know. There's something about it's like from Kuma's perspective, yes, it's sad. But when you have the outside perspective of the fact that he didn't get to hear her say that she loved him because he at that moment was already like, I gotta get there ASAP. Like outside and looking at all of it, it's sad.
yeah.
It's also pretty sad because Jenny was so like, oh, we have to take down the whole government. Like, we have to do this now. Like, she was so against them. And so, like, we have to rebel. And then for her to be the one that was captured and basically like brought down from who she was, it really was sad. It sucks.
Wow, melancholic, guys. I mean, it's cute when I guess we'll find one little ray of sunshine. Him and Bonnie are adorable together. Like,
I agree.
yeah,
Dude,
like
like seeing her like just flip the bird to those dudes and like just be like, of course I'm not a vampire. I live in a church, bro. Like,
yeah, right.
that was hilarious, bro.
And I love those little, like, just the little hints because it makes you think about Thriller Bark, and then with the disease, it makes you think about, the tree fever, white leg
Mhm.
disease. I
I'm
just
gonna be
love that.
real with you, my man TJ. Everything makes me think about Thriller Bark. But yeah, I guess.
Hey, same here, same here.
TJ, tell me why, in as many words as you possibly can, Thriller Bark is in fact a top 3 arc in One Piece.
Oh man. Well, you can look at every arc and just like you can generalize them, but like Thriller Bark is kind of like an outlier. It just feels like it's like an odd man out, and that's the reason why I love it.
See,
It speak, Lucas.
Oh, sorry. I
No,
feel that
you're
same
good.
way about Skypiea as well, though. It's like that outlier arc.
Okay,
You know what I mean? It's its
okay.
own self-contained adventure, just like Thriller Bark. So that I love them both so much. It's because I equate them to each other, like as like
Okay.
standalone. Like it's almost like a little standalone adventure.
Is that not every arc in One Piece? I feel like
Yeah, but,
every
like,
time they jump an island, it's its own self-contained
It
story.
feels like its own world though. Like Thriller Bark is so fucking different from like everything else in One Piece. Just like Skypiea is so different from everything else in One Piece. Like it's
Okay, that's fair.
I also feel like Thriller Bark was like one of the first arcs where you really started to see a lot of inspirations that Oda took and threw it into one thing. Like you start to get like the whole goth, like the whole just like the ores, the Oni. You're starting to get the shadows, the Peter Pan. Like there's a lot into it when you really start thinking about it. And like it was the one before we got to Whole Cake Island. And when you get to Whole Cake Island, it's like all the Disney stuff, and it's like very in your eyes, and you're like thinking, connecting it.
Have you been talking to Cube?
There's
Oh, he's
there's-
been
Might be
pushing
listening
Disney
again, man.
piece, man. Yeah, I was about to say you got to talk to Cube, man. He pushes that Disney piece stuff. Like it's crazy.
Oh,
I love it.
believe it.
Yeah,
It also
love it
gave
too.
us the
Drum
scene of
Island, all
Luffy
that.
pushing the zombie back in the ground.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Bro.
Can't forget that.
I was
Question on an. Oh, sorry, Cody. Go ahead.
I was wondering if the reason why Kuma saved Perona and sent her away was because she resembles Bonnie in having pink hair.
Oh,
I like
Bro.
that. I like that a lot. Like he reminded her of him, or yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. But like that's beautiful, Cody. I love that.
And then he immediately played the game with her. He immediately asked Perona, "Where would you like to go?"
Yeah, like, where would you want to go? Yeah. Oh.
Do you think Kuma knew Luffy was the carrier of Joy Boy in Sabaody Park?
I don't
think
know.
I don't think the Nika connections were made yet, because like now we know that goes much deeper. But he absolutely knew that was Dragon's kid, because he said like, this is, so this is what, your kid like inspired whatever you saw Zoro do, that nothing happened. Well, I think that's enough of an explanation.
I don't know. We already saw like Skypiea by that point. So there were some connections that like we as readers had.
For us, yes, but for Kuma, I wouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah, but Kuma, like in what we've seen in recent chapters, like Kuma was doing the pose and knows the heartbeat stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
For me, it's more like he doesn't think like Luffy is like the reincarnation or like that whole like idea, but he sees what he represents and that it's super similar to what he believes in and how he thinks Nika is and how he thinks a savior would be, That's just how I see it.
Yeah, I like that though. I like that a lot, because I'm not sold 100% on him not knowing he was Nika, because like I think there is a chance. Like I think there's a good probability of it.
Well, I guess I was careful with my wording. I said the carrier of like Nika, not necessarily that he himself was at that point.
Yeah, but definitely not. But I think it's a possibility, but I also see Vex's point a lot as well. Sorry, I ripped a bowl right before this. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, so this actually is a great segue then. I would like to, because we were just talking about, Thriller Bark and stuff like that. Like I'm always talking about Thriller Bark. Everything comes back to One Piece, and everything in One Piece comes back to Thriller Bark. I want to know, what we got to hear some impressions of your favorite Thriller Bark laugh. Let's hear it from the whole panel.
I'm a manga reader. I don't know what they sound like.
Bro.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mute up and go listen to Moria's laugh and Hogback's laugh right now.
And Perona. And like, Perona. I mean, Brooke. You gotta know.
I'm about to kill it. I'm about to kill Moria.
Would have to be Brooks.
Oh. Let's go, Moria for Moria, Cody. I have to back my mic up because this is loud as fuck. So if I clip, let me know, please.
Somebody clip.
Did that clip real bad?
God. A little bit, but no, we got most of it. Y'all are sleeping on my boy.
Oh, W. Bushido for asking if there are other gods in One Piece. I'm not saying those names because I think we'll get demonetized and I'll get canceled. So y'all can play with that fire. That's the GOAT train theory. No, I don't think there's 5. I think there's 4. I think there's 4 from the Skypiea thing when they were sacrificing them to the giant snake. Can someone do Hogback? Ghost Train, if you're not careful, I'm gonna get your Hogback.
I do not even remember Hogback.
That's pretty good.
Yes. This is why I fuck with you, Cody. God.
Oh my God, that's not even
They're having a laugh off over here.
Somebody mute Lucas.
I can't listen to fucking Caesar Clown because it's the same voice actor for Frieza, and literally every time I just picture him like just absolutely like stomping on Vegeta while Vegeta's crying again, just like I'm just like, oh no.
I can also do trebles and oh my God.
Goofy.
Oh my god.
There's another one too, though. Oh,
No, the names aren't demonetized. I'm just being goofy.
But making me cry. I don't need to hear that laugh right now. I know, but like still. Like,
you want me to do the English dub too? That's all I heard was do the English dub as well.
I'm gonna dub you. What?
Would it be possible for you to get a higher quality resolution of the chat for stream?
No, I tried.
Okay.
He said I tried.
I figured I'd ask. I just pulled it up on my TV for extra light on my face, and I was
Did you just comment my co-host, bro? No, I'm joking.
I keep it a buck. I keep it a buck 50 with you. I tried.
I tried. He said I tried.
Best laugh in One Piece.
Best laugh in One Piece. Oh
Best
man.
Laugh? Oh, I would have to give it to
iconic. Kaido, yeah, Kaido's is good.
I can't even. Yeah. I'm not even gonna try it.
I gotta go with
gun.
Like one of the first like iconic laughs I think we ever heard like was just it's so funny because it just to me it sounds like he's like fighting for air but Crocodile with his
oh yeah.
I hope the live action does that. I just want that like just one time make him go Mugiwara no Luffy. Like
they have to do it because he took a big puff, like from a cigar, and he can't breathe or something.
I don't know. Who else?
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Hey, Vex, TJ, are you guys Legend of Zelda fans?
I'm not too much of a gamer, to be honest. So
for me, like retro stuff, but I didn't play anything after Twilight Princess, and I didn't even finish Twilight Princess.
I'm gonna play with your Twilight Princess if you're not careful.
Damn, baby, give me that Midna.
Okay, calm down.
Oh dear.
Waking something that 14-year-old Lucas repressed.
Yo.
They're making a Legend of Zelda TV movie. That's the word I'm looking for.
Is it live action or is it
live action?
animated?
Made by Sony, with the writer of Morbius and the producer of Morbius.
Bro,
that doesn't sound right.
It's right. Morbin time.
It's the producer of No Way Home, Far From Home, the Tom Holland trilogy.
You can't give him all the credit for that, though, my man.
I mean, he still did it, right?
Yeah. But
also,
like Marvel
movies.
Yes, he does produce the Spider-Verse movies, but he also produced and forced Venom into Spider-Man 3. And I'll never forgive him for that.
I just can't wait for the memes.
I will always thank him for that. That was my first experience of Venom, and
that's
what? Damn.
Hey, I was a wee lad when that movie came out.
Okay.
Yep.
Oof. I don't know. I'm worried about it. It's mostly because Dylan, like it's your favorite franchise. It's my favorite franchise, so I'm very reserved about it. Like very, very, very reserved about it.
I'm worried that it's live action. I'm not worried with who's producing it and whatnot because I know Miyamoto is going to be very hands-on with it. We're not going to have another 80s Mario Brothers movie, for example.
It's not Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame.
That's the TV show, not the movie.
Did you watch the animated Legend of Zelda shit from way back in the day?
Well, excuse me, princess.
Yes.
Oh boy, smooching time.
Oh boy, smooching time.
Bro, oh my goodness. That is the bar is set pretty low as far
Dodongos. Oh boy.
I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos. That's the CGI game.
No, I think the entire quality of it relies on are they including my guy Tingle and who are they casting for that? Because that's my go right
facts, there. Cody is actually being casted as Tingle.
Cody,
I'm actually getting casted at I'm getting casted as Beetle I'm gonna be all like, thank you! Thank you!
Goodbye. No, it's all about the fish. The fish in Wind Waker when he goes like like bro.
Oi, small fry.
One second,
Bro.
I'm concerned about like what game are they going to choose to adapt, or are they going to create a new story for Zelda? Those are, I guess, at the
I hope they
forefront
do.
of
Like
my mind.
honestly, like you know the timelines, like the 3 timelines and like the divergent point and shit like that. Like I'm hoping they do a Zelda verse.
We have that. It's Hyrule Warriors.
It's so good.
No, like it's gonna be live action, so I feel like it would be super ambitious. But I mean, they've got the budget for it, right? Like, but like if we get like a full, I was saying if we do like the full 3 timelines, like Zelda verse convergence thing. Like,
oh yeah, that'd be amazing. That'd be dope. And Sony does love their multiverses.
Lucas, I was saying at the forefront of my mind is what game are they adapting, if they're adapting a game at all? Because that question needs to be asked before we look at who's going to actually be in it. Like who has to be cast. Like Ganondorf doesn't necessarily need to make an appearance. If we're doing A Link to the Past, then it's just CGI Ganon. Like
I'm thinking it would be crazy if they started with the Downfall timeline, man, and just went for the first game and doing a loose adaptation of that. Wait. Yes.
Yeah. The first game in the Downfall timeline is A Link to the Past.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. Because then Ganon's were happening. So maybe they would start with the Link to the Past. I thought probably starting with Skyward Sword would probably be the most logical choice if they're starting with any of the games. Or Ocarina of Time, then shoot Majora's Mask right after it.
I was thinking like Twilight Princess would be incredible. I have an extreme. This is probably my hottest take on anything ever. Twilight Princess is a bad game.
Really? The only thing I don't like about it's the ball and chain. Except on the Wii, that's fun as fuck. On the Wii, it's fun as
fuck. Follow me on this. I've went to war on the front lines over this before. The first dungeon, you can sit out of the line of fire, and cheese the boss with your boomerang without any risk to yourself. The second boss is actually a challenge. Well, not a challenge, but it's a fight where there's risk. The third one, there's a giant worm that swims around in the water and does nothing. It doesn't hurt you. Like, you got to try to lose that fight. The giant skeleton is brain dead easy. Like
it's one of my least favorite fights in any Zelda.
I love that fight. That's one of my favorite fights in any Zelda game. Like probably top 5 for sure.
So the way I describe it is,
go on. Sorry.
It's bad mechanically, but the feel of it is incredible and like nigh unmatched in the Zelda series. Save for Tears of the Kingdom. Oh my god.
I still have yet to play Tears of the Kingdom, and it's killing me.
In my opinion, it was just like the weakest, like you were saying, as far as like boss like mechanics, but also like I just didn't feel like the dungeon design was like it felt like some sort of mystical and magical when I was a kid, and I had to get a fire rod for me to even be able to like stand a chance at beating this. But there's just like, I felt like it was just so, I don't know. It felt like kind of forced, like formulaic almost at that point.
It kind of sucks
and it
because
just didn't really vibe with me.
The jump from 2D to 3D made I don't know why they decided to do it, but they went, oh, okay, you're gonna go into this dungeon, you're gonna get the bow, and that's gonna be only used in this dungeon. Then the next dungeon, you're gonna get this item, and it's only gonna be used in that one. Whereas in the older games, you're constantly swapping back and forth between your like inventory, and it's a lot more brain racking, or like you got to use your head instead of just go, oh, this is where I got the bow, so this is what I need to solve the puzzle. You know?
Yeah, it's like in Pokemon, if they give you like an HM so you could cross this route and then you never needed it ever again.
Waterfall?
Yeah, waterfall.
Looking at you, rock climb. No,
yeah, look at you, rock climb.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I like TJ. I know you've been posting on your TikTok about some series that you've been, definitely gassed about. Spit to me what your favorite of like anything that you're making content about, like over on your Terrible TJ channel. What's the biggest vibe for you right now?
Well, for right now, it's actually, you guys might laugh, but it's Power Rangers.
Dude, I saw your
I'll
TikTok on that. That sounds so fire. Like I know there's like graphic novels that are like there's like universally deep
Yeah,
lore. I don't know
they've
anything about it though, but
they've
that sounds so crazy.
they've been making comics and they're actually pretty nice because like you could see the characters from a different perspective that they wouldn't be able to do with the shows, and the shows are like very restrictive. But I haven't really gone to the comics. The last season for like the franchise, I guess you would call it, for all the seasons of Power Rangers just ended. So there's gonna be a reboot in 2025. So once this last one just ended, I decided to go back with the other series. But yeah, it's pretty funny to go and watch these seasons because they're just super duper goofy, super stupid.
Oh,
That is
you've
so
spoken
wild.
the magic words to me. I love Power Rangers. There's
Yeah, I heard it before I went to the bathroom. I got really excited to come back. Like, go on, Dildo.
Mighty Morphin is like peak. I have
Oh, yep.
comics of the Ninja Turtles teaming up with Power Rangers and the Power Rangers
Mhm.
fighting Godzilla, as
Bruh.
well as like Power Rangers Unlimited. Like I have some Power Rangers comics. Like
Iconic,
Okay.
yeah.
iconic, bro. I hopped out at Dino Thunder. That was like the last I ever saw. Like
That's
Man, okay.
understandable.
it was like a long time back. Quick shout out to Mr. Bushido 56 with the €2, the super chat. He said, "Is the One Piece live action a fluke for adaptations?" I actually don't think so. I think that
Yeah,
it
I
I
set
love
the
think
it.
it's a
standard.
hype.
I,
I think it's
yeah,
a
I think that
hype
it
piece. Like it's gonna
Yeah.
give other projects an opportunity,
yeah, like
Mhm.
now that it's set the
Oh wait, I'm
standard,
lagging.
like
I'm cutting out.
it's easier.
I
No,
started
you're good,
cutting out.
bro. Yeah, we could hear you.
Yeah, you're good, but
Okay,
But I
okay.
think that it set the standard. Like now, I'm actually looking at the Avatar: The Last Airbender and the Yu Yu Hakusho, and I'm
Yes.
actually like
Yep.
excited because
Yo,
now
I'm
they
hyped.
know everybody's seen what not to do, and now
yeah.
that they've
Yes.
seen what to do, and there's like a little bit of a template per se. I think that this is big. I think this is huge. I don't think it's a fluke. I think it broke the
Mhm.
curse. I honestly do. I think it is slightly overrated as somebody who's more of a manga fan than like I mean like I think that they did a lot better with Syrup Village, but even that I still have a lot of gripes about. But I think that it's slightly overrated, which I think about everything Netflix related.
Mm,
But I do think that it did in fact break the curse. That's my take.
yeah. Yeah. For me, I was really happy that we kind of got like an alternative version of the story. It was just kind of like it was a different adaptation, but it was a different version. It was kind of like you're going into a separate reality. It's almost like there's a multiverse with the friggin', you got the manga, the anime, then the live action. They're different.
It's interesting. I feel like in retrospect, had Oda had the foresight that he has now for the series, he would have changed a lot of the beginning stuff and had more stuff
Mm,
for it. So I feel like the live action feels like a very definitive version of One Piece
okay.
in terms of its story. I don't know if
Okay.
that's
No,
weird to
yeah,
say, but
no, you're right because they're still hitting all of the major plot points, and adding
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
whenever they add something in, it makes sense for the most part. Like,
yeah.
kind of forced with the Garp stuff, but it also does make sense.
Oh,
But
the Garp subplot was kind of weird. I'm more so referring to like having like ties to Wano in Zoro's
Mm-hmm,
like
mm-hmm.
past with
yeah,
the flags and whatnot. Like
yeah.
that kind of stuff is really cool to see.
Cody, I want to hear your takes of the One Piece live action. You've been so quiet, I don't like it. I want to hear you talk, baby boy.
I like
Talk
it
to me.
when our guests are cooking because we bring them on here to spit heat and they do more than we ask them to. I'm just happy to be a witness to this wonderful, amazing
You,
like thing that we've brought on. It's so great. My thoughts on the live action are that I really liked it. I cried during every single episode. I had a little
Mhm.
moment where I had to like take a little breather and I was like, all right, next one. Like it was something moving as a fan who's been reading week to week as long as I did to actually see like my characters in I know everyone's like, oh, it's just people in cosplay, but like to actually see people and actors take this so seriously to the point where they embody my characters in a live action format so well, and getting to see those behind the scenes like slice of life moments that we don't normally get to see in the anime or manga, and see those actors flesh out those characters because they themselves love it so much. In Inaki and Emily Rudd and Taz Skylar, Usopp is oh my goodness.
Jacob Romero Gibson.
Yes, I love Usopp's actor so much. Jacob is such a treat. And McKenyu Zoro.
I was seeing,
there's just
yeah,
it's just really cool as like a lifelong fan to see him like brought to life finally. What are you gonna say, Tree?
I saw on Twitter yesterday or earlier this morning that like he was sleeping around on set all the time, and people in the cast were taking pictures of him like, haha, this is such a Zoro thing to do, and homie was just tired.
Yeah, but like specifically to address like the whole they're just cosplaying and stuff like that, like absolutely not, because Oda, I can see how people could hate outfits. But like Oda literally said like to Iñaki, like, you are Luffy, like you are the perfect and like nobody would ever make a better buggy than.
And I want to speak on like the costumes too, like the opposite costumes. It's almost like they're full, like the outfits that they pick out for the actors to wear in the other arcs and stuff. They feel like almost like Oda would draw their characters in that outfit for like a color spread or something. Like it definitely feels like in character for the character. Like nothing ever feels like super duper out of place to me.
Yeah, same. Well, most of the costumes did come from like cover stories and color spreads and shit like that, which is dope.
Even the costumes that would have felt out of place were like worn down and rugged enough that they felt in place in the world.
Dude, when we were
except
watching it all
for
together,
Captain Morgan.
Yeah,
stupid pants.
We were watching it all together, and on the Discord for the first episode. Cody, I think were you there or did you come in?
I was there. I was there.
And you remember for the first you were there too, Vexus, weren't you?
For some of it, I didn't get to
stay bonded the whole hard game. That night.
Yeah, dude, it was everyone in the server who was there did. But for the first 5 minutes, I was crying so fucking hard, and no one could. I was just quiet for a little bit, and then when it finally was like, Lucas is quiet, and I'm like, yeah, this and this, because I was fucking just crying. I was like, this is beautiful. They fucking nailed it. It was Gold Roger's speech, like everything about it, man. It's like
you killed it.
Yeah, the choice to open up perfectly on that, which I thought they were going to do that, if I'm being honest. I thought they would wait like a little bit into the first episode to do it, but to open up on it like perfectly, I was like, oh my god, yes.
Oh, you got to. Please. You got to the whole wealth.
Hold up.
Exactly. Yep.
Do we know what killed Roger? Like what disease he had? Was that ever confirmed or said?
No.
No.
I can't go to that island disease, but it's just laugh tail. That's
no, it's every island. It's just he has to stay at sea. If he ever freaking docks, he's just gonna. No, I'm kidding.
He has that Davy Jones curse. Oh my goodness.
Think of that too.
But no, I think Golden was being with Rouge for so long. He's on one island for way too long.
To speak to what you were saying, Tree, earlier as well about like how you feel like there's just so much more now that's fleshed out about Oda's canon that he could never have really anticipated or planned for back when he was drawing those first panels back in, Romance Dawn arc and things like that. I loved seeing Garp at the execution site because he absolutely should have and would have been there if Oda didn't plan on doing a much later reveal. But the cat's been out of the bag for like decades at this point. So, I mean, I think that's perfect. Garp was from the East. Garp was like literally Roger's like straight rival, was looking after his kid and everything. There's no possible way that Garp wasn't there.
Yeah, there was, because do you remember who attacked Marineford in Chapter 0 and who had to stop him?
Ooh,
that's right, my boy Sengoku
Shiki,
and
that
Garp.
was over a week. There was over a week worth of time. And if Doflamingo can get to the execution site from the North Blue at Spider Miles, wherever he was, if all these other people can show up from other different seas, Homeboy can absolutely show up. I'm just saying. That was over a week. That's what the canon timeline is over a week before his execution.
About the addition with foreknowledge, Garp is rocks. Love you, Cube. But with the foreknowledge of the story so far and shit too, like seeing Cavendish in the East Blue makes so much sense. Seeing Foxy on the board, but just seeing Cavendish, with him and his grudge against Luffy and being like, you took the fame that I was having. Like, it's perfect. It's like they thought about that shit. Seeing Bellamy the hyena, like, oh!
With
I love
the
my boy
new
Bellamy.
One Piece TCG, Baron Omatsu coming out, what's your guys'
know.
favorite One Piece movie?
Bear in mind, I've only seen a handful, but yes, I want to hear this.
I've seen the first two in film red. It's film red.
Oh wow. Okay.
TJ?
Rip.
There's a lot to pick from. Honestly, I like the older ones. Like it might be the art and the animation and just the vibe of it, and just the story was like a little bit more, toned down. It's not all crazy like it is now. But Stampede, like out of the newer ones, I'd have to say Stampede's probably my favorite.
Good
Oh, I'm
choice.
so glad I cut out for that. Let's go. Fuck yeah. Oh, and I even dropped it anyway. Oh,
This dude.
Bruh. Yeah, I know Cody loves
But,
it
like,
because he loves seeing everybody all at one battlefield and seeing sweaty men fight each other.
When you have Hancock, Smoker, fucking Sabo, the Sabo and Smoker, like a dual attack, like mixing basically elements, and like I love that shit. I love it.
When Luffy breaks the log pose to Laugh Tail and just goes like, oh my god!
You got Lucci and like whoever else it was rushing him, and he just snaps in it. Ooh,
Sabo using the Fire Fist and Ace's ghost coming with him, like
Fujitora and Mihawk are my goats.
What movie is
seeing
this?
The flexes.
Stampede. Dude, you gotta watch it. It's insane.
No, you have to.
Everybody's there.
You really do. But I need to spit. I need to spit my answer. If he hasn't seen it, I don't want us to spoil too much more. But it's super punch happy. Like it's great.
Yeah.
It's the most Luffy plot I've ever seen. It's just like let's fight like the whole movie. But to answer the question, Lucas, and to address Mr. Bushido's other super chat for 2 more euros, it said Shiki is Killer's dad or clone. I mean, we can spit on that for a second, but we have to talk about Strong World because that is my absolute favorite One Piece movie that has ever happened. It's so good. It's fantastic. I love it, and it's complete like breadcrumbs and like litmus testing for some things that we're absolutely getting reveals here now in the Egghead arc and in the end game and things like that. Strong World is so important, and I think that's probably the most important. And I think Stampede has a lot of enjoyability, and especially on a rewatch and things like that. But the first time I ever watched episode 0 and then followed it up immediately with Strong World, that was the most hype I had ever been while watching One Piece outside of like Marineford.
I have personal bias for Stampede because as a week-to-week enjoyer of One Piece, getting to enjoy all the big 3 and like going in to see One Piece Stampede, which is the it's like the letter. It's the 20th anniversary film. Like it's a love letter to One Piece fans, and they're like, we're gonna put everything in here. The freaking callback to Skypiea, the bubbles, the little references of Panda Man that you can see all throughout the movie.
Yes.
You can like everyone is there, and I mean, like, I didn't expect
background
to like
characters are in the background. The background characters you see all throughout the story are in the background throughout the movie.
Even seeing Foxy like made me like happy because I was like, everyone is literally here. It's like the Smash Brothers trailer in Avengers Ultimate. Like they just are like, everyone is here. Like it's so insane. Like, and like to parallel like what I think would happen for the end of One Piece, like seeing all of them team up to help Luffy fight a bigger entity, bigger than themselves, is gonna happen in the end of One Piece. Like
oh yeah.
It's going to. I definitely see like a top 5 like people like being like, we have to help him. Like, it's gonna happen, and I love it so much. It's really good. Stampede's my favorite.
I like Stampede a lot. I think I'm biased towards Film Red though because it was my first One Piece movie that I saw in theaters. And when I saw Film Red in theaters, and I saw that little brief clip of Gear 5. Was one of the most excited fucking moments.
Goosebumps.
I jumped up and was like, yes! Yes! Like at the top of my lungs, and there was 2 like Japanese dudes sitting in front of me. And they also jumped up and were like, yeah! Yeah!
Dude, my favorite anime movie to see live though was I think it was Dragon Ball Super Broly, because I remember like going like being like super sick and like dying. But I remember as soon as they danced, as soon as that dance happened, I put the seat down. I was on the edge of my seat, and they were my friends recording me, putting me on Snapchat. And they're like, "My boy's eating tonight," and I was like, I mean, Gogeta's my favorite Dragon Ball character, and I remember when they dropped the trailer that he was going to be in the movie, I jumped and ran around the parking lot of my workplace. Yeah, I cried. I saw that in theaters, and I was so sick. I had like a fever of like 100 degrees, and I like took like a bottle of Dayquil, and I was like, I'm gonna see this movie. I'm going to. And I remember I got out of there, and I was like, 103, worth it. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I saw both it and Superhero in theaters, and both were hype ass experiences.
Oh my gosh, yes. With the chanting and the music is so good. Like just the OSTs from Broly.
The only anime movie I ever saw in theaters was Demon Slayer, and it was definitely hype. It was super worth going and watching it in theaters because like the vibe was so real, bro.
I didn't like it as much as the JJK movie.
I kept composed till the very end of the Demon Slayer movie where Tanjiro was screaming into the woods, and then I was like, "No, this shit's too real." He's such a good voice actor.
Oh my god, bro! The movie was amazing.
Is that why you started using the word coward? Is that what you were like?
No,
because like you call people coward, coward.
Oh man, is coward a trigger word? I almost just said some unhinged shit.
Oh my god.
It's a trigger line. It's like what actors say. It's a Quentin Tarantino thing.
Rengoku and Ace should open a bakery together.
Oh my god, Lucas, I will mute you. I will server mute you right now. Like, don't you dare. My guy, he truly
Spider-Man
set my
3,
heart
Sandman,
like...
Rin from Naruto.
Chill. I'm the Aokiji of the group. Y'all need to chill.
I will cry. I
am. I'm about to go grab my sunglasses and go join my boy Blackbeard.
Shout out to Nasty Ninja, my guy in the chat.
My boy!
What's good, homie? I did want to cook a little bit on that Mr. Bushido Shiki theory and stuff like that. Do you guys think that I forgot his name? It was like Kamazo, like Killer's real identity.
Here, let's take a few steps
Do you think
back.
he might?
I'm unfamiliar with this theory. Do you want to explain it to me?
So the theory is like Shiki, we don't know too much about him. He is a canon character, but the events of Strong World are technically not canon, but the events of episode 0 are. So I mean, I'd still definitely recommend checking it out. We recently saw Shiki like for one of the first times ever in an actual manga panel, and he has to have some sort of relevance to come back into the story based off of what was said, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's common opinions. In episode 0, which is fully canon, he mentioned how 20 years from now, like all of this and this, and he's got big plans, and he's definitely like a former Rocks pirate. Dude is like literally beefing with Roger and is pretty much at or around Yonko level, like in his prime. He's far from his prime at this point, but he's had 20 years to cook on stuff. Because he was in it. He was in it built down, and they put stone shackles on his feet, and so he just got rid of his feet.
Don't need those anymore, I guess.
Yep.
But I don't know the full. I'm not gonna be able to speak justice to the full theory, like the full theory. But you can definitely check it out in the Last Arc's Discord, and I think in the Punk Record section, there's probably if not, there will be probably later tonight because Mr. Bushido is cooking in there. Like daily, nightly, and ever so rightly, and it's crazy to think that like because we don't know enough about like where Killer is from and things like that, but with the way that his hair color is and his skin tone and things like that, I've heard a lot of different theories about his origins. Like, is he from the South Blue? Even though it lists,
north, right?
Yeah, so it lists him from one specific place, but there's people who have theories that he could be 3-Eye, or that he could be related to Shiki, or that he could be like I've heard so many people try to cook on his origin, so I've just kind of lost track of all of the theories. unless it's like right in front of me. So I'm not gonna be able to speak it to justice, but you should definitely check out the movie Strong World and episode 0 before you dive too deep into it, because they're amazing and you need to check them out.
Yeah. I would like to say I'm not a big fan of the clone theories, and this has nothing to do with Bushido. I know you're a big fan of them. You've got a couple of them, but it's clones are so tricky to do in a story, and I think I feel that way because of Spider-Man's Clone Saga from the '90s and early 2000s. Like that was terrible. It was one of the worst things ever written. A lot of great characters came from it, but it was bad. It was, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. But
Clones,
I do
Full
think,
Circle, Metal Gear Solid.
But like I said, it's hard to pull them off, and that could be why I haven't played further into Metal Gear Solid as well. Is the clone thing, but I think we're only going to get maybe one more clone in the story if we get another one because we got Stussy. Stussy, but
she's all I need.
yeah, TJ, my man.
She's all I need.
Yeah,
she's all I need, baby.
Dude, keep the bat
Hey,
too.
Do we know what happened to Roger's body after he was executed?
I ate him.
Okay.
Damn, all right.
I thought if I ate him, I could gain his power. This is news coup canon. Everyone's hearing it first.
No, so you hold on, Tree. Are you insinuating that we might see like a
Roger clone,
a shadow, even like a shadow put into a Roger body?
Dude, that would be sick. Yeah,
because everything comes back to Thriller Bark. I'm gonna keep saying.
Oh my
god.
But, yes. Yep.
But that would be insane.
I'm not gonna lie. People... Starting to. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, so for people that like think Emu can have like every devil fruit ability, imagine Nightmare Luffy, but the possibility that a person that has a devil fruit with a shadow can somehow possibly get their shadow placed in somebody else and gain the devil fruit power or an ability.
Ooh, I'm about to spit on some Emu devil fruit just for a second. Bushido, thank you again for another €2 super chat. I agree. Pandora's box is open, and I'm scared of it, is what I'm saying, because of the Clone Saga in Spider-Man. But with Emu's Devil Fruit, I think it's more of a null Devil Fruit, so I do think it will tie back to Shadow Luffy, with the fact that it can mimic other Devil Fruits as well.
So when they put shadows into bodies, do you think that's very reminiscent of like putting a dream into a devil fruit, whereas putting
could be
because when they put the shadow of Brooke or Luffy into the other bodies, they retained the same dreams.
Yep.
Right?
Well, see, I think it would be more akin to devil fruits are made of will, dreams, however you want to say it, and it's a positive experience that leads to that devil fruit, most likely, or I'm going to say a negative experience probably leads to that devil fruit, right? But it's not. It's born out of that need, that necessity, in a positive light. Like if only I had this. But with the shadow thing, it's a more negative side of things where you're forcibly taking that will and putting it into them.
That's why Nightmare Luffy's called Nightmare Luffy.
Yeah,
opposite
exactly.
I'm curious. Do you feel like maybe that fruit power is the opposite of like Kuma's, where Kuma can like take out and the shadow one can put stuff in?
Yeah.
What if he put the shadow in a fruit, essentially putting the will or dream of that person into a fruit?
I think
someone else to eat it.
I think it'd be kind of like.
Sorry,
for me, I think it'd be kind of like if somebody ate 2 devil fruits and they say, the 2 spirits would fight. I think if you're to try to force another spirit inside the devil fruit where one's already having it as the host or whatever, it would fight off the spirit.
Oh, I'm not
Shout
saying
out
that.
to my guy Cody, who was in the bathroom and still working the chat. Masterful work there.
Masterful.
I was even listening to chat because wireless headphones 2023.
Beautiful.
Let's go with it.
What up?
Hey.
If I could though, with the Emu thing,
wait, Tree was about to cook. Hold on, let her guess.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you put a shadow in a non-devil fruit to try and create a devil fruit.
That's a good idea.
No, I have a full theory on that.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe that's how Vegapunk is making the fake devil fruits, is he's making artificial willed shadows somehow and putting them, or you know what I mean, or that would be Sads or Smiles more. Is
something I
that would be
now
sad.
on the spot.
Yeah, that's brilliant though. But with the Emu thing, I have a big theory. I've been cooking up on it with the Faustian deal. If you guys are familiar with that, I think that's how Emu and them got their powers. But I think Emu will have like this ultimate form of powers.
Can
Like
Kuma take the devil fruit out of the devil fruit?
Like the will of the devil fruit?
I assume not, because
I've
if he could,
thought.
he would have pushed Bonnie's illness out. I'd assume.
Yeah. TJ, what's up, though?
See, I had the same thought. Like, can he do that? But then it gets to like the whole physical and how he's actually only supposed to manipulate intangibles. So, like what people are asking about him getting rid of her disease, maybe he can only get rid of the effects, like her pain. But they used hologram tech to get rid of the scales.
Yeah, but you gotta. No, I vibe with that. I heard that in a DAC live. I think you were the one spitting it, but yeah, like
I think Kev brought it up. He was the first one that talked about it.
Yeah, but my whole thing is that yeah, like as far as pulling out he can affect certain metaphysical properties like memories and pain and things like that. But yeah, you're right. The physical, we've never seen like precedents for that, and we do now know for a fact, well, I don't know for a fact, but as far as the world's most brilliant scientist who's 500 years ahead of everybody, that the soul is in fact something that is physical, in that it has a weight, and so it's not necessarily that you would need to use Kuma's fruit. It's something that could be potentially attainable through just normal science. And then that in combination with like maybe manipulating metaphysical properties, I think it would make sense if you were to take the soul out of an individual, then they would likely be able to eat 2 devil fruits, because like there is already apparently room enough for your own soul and the soul of a devil fruit. And if your soul is taken out of there, then there's plenty of room for the 2.
Extra slot.
Hey, quick, everyone check the panels. Does Blackbeard have a shadow ever?
I think he
I'm
does
sure
when
he
starts
does.
using his devil fruit.
Yeah, his whole vibe is like darkness, so I'm pretty sure. But we've never seen him without the fruit, except for in a flashback where we don't get to see the ground, like except for Thatch being on the ground. Like I don't know, like But the thing is I was thinking as well. I was thinking as well as like the whole, can you put like a power or like a metaphysical property into a devil fruit, or even a soul or something like that, like a normal fruit to make it a devil fruit. I've been cooking on a theory ever since I caught up, like which is like going like almost 2 years now, and I don't have it fully scripted or anything, and I haven't even really started fully editing or like anything, or just collecting. I'm so slow on this ball because I just feel like we're gonna get more from Egghead, and I don't want I don't want to like, I guess like go too quick about it and things like that. I want to just kind of like see what Oda gives us from this arc and then really spit my full spiel. But the gist of it is that yeah, like I think that devil fruits are a technology because they're despised by nature, and that technology's sole purpose would have been to basically utilize the souls, instead of having them go to the afterlife, to have them perpetuate and exist here as a nigh unlimited like renewable resource for future sciences and things like that. And so in a sense, it's like gatekeeping the afterlife. And so these people whose wills are inherited, it's because they're forced to stay here. And this goes into the whole Scientology piece thing. If you haven't checked your Thetan levels yet, everybody, make sure you do. Make sure you're regularly donating to your church. No, I'm kidding. But if the souls are not allowed, if the souls are not allowed to leave this world and are being kept from the afterlife and things like that, because we saw the trees in Shandora like talk. They were like, yeah, we believe that through the ringing of the bell. Yeah, it guides and like I feel like there's just so much to it that it's like, okay, so these souls are not reaching the afterlife, just like Brooks didn't. And like my theory is also partly that Brooks' devil fruit was blank. It was like a blank tape.
Yeah.
And like so like it was, and so like it was like kind of like insert powers here type of shit. And so it was like his will was imprinted in upon it, and that's why it's like the most like he's exactly like the whole soul thing and his soul traveling around, and then the musical aspect and things like that, which Oda's been kind of tricky about saying like that's not actually his devil fruit power, that's just him singing and stuff like that. I feel like he had a blank tape, and he just kind of like inserted his will into that. and that's why it felt like it did nothing until he actually died, and then he was gate kept from the actual underworld because of that. And I don't think it's the actual revive fruit. But this all goes into the thing, like I don't think a lot of devil fruits are their actual names. Like ever since like Pandora's box is open, like you're saying.
I have to shout out Nasty Ninja real quick because he said Big Mom could possibly, like with her fruit, could possibly remove a soul and force it into a fruit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But would that just make it a homie?
Yeah, would that just make it a homie?
Yeah, like.
So that's the thing, is that's why I don't believe that she was like fully awakened, like people were saying, because I don't think her will was fully her own. She was constantly at war between Lin and Big Mom, you know, like, and like it was the thing that like I don't know, and we didn't even see her make or use any homies when she had amnesia either, right?
Right.
So I feel like there's something else there, and I know that like Den Den and a few of the other crew members of the last arc were always spitting back in the day about like Mother Caramel theories and stuff like that, and how she's still pulling strings. Because again, what if you can't go to the afterlife? Where's your will gonna go?
Into a fruit.
But that's like a big, like huge, like tinfoil conspiracy nonsense.
I like it, though, man.
I've been, and ever since we got to Egghead, I've just been like trying to shape it as something more like feasible in the theory crafting, you know, like meta, you know, and not quite there yet.
Bro, it's hard to make a theory.
I'm still pushing my sacrifice agenda, bro. Like still pushing it. I think that's how devil fruits are made now, like entirely. Like, the whole, I think the world government is cleansing places and stuff like that, and using the will of the people that died there to make the devil fruits. And that's where like the new ones have come from. That's why, oh my goodness, the Mother Flame was built. Like, I'm not gonna go all into it because I'm not gonna lie. I've got so much of it written down for tomorrow's stream. I don't feel like doing it twice. That's some spice, Vex. That is some straight spice.
I'm the head cook, though.
Yeah, gotta come through.
Oh no, another shout out to Mr. Bushido56 again with another €2 super chat. He said, "Why didn't Beige feed her to?" Wait, what? I'm confused.
Why didn't Beige feed her a devil fruit to kill her?
Oh yeah, so like Big Mom, I'm assuming is what you're talking about.
Because for as many devil fruit users as we see, as it was explained, like coming across a devil fruit is still pretty rare, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
Unless you're like into like some weird underground black market devil fruit black market like Doflamingo was or Treble was, however he got the Ito no Mi.
Or if you're a rat.
Like, hey, yeah, or it's like you're rat-haired Shanks. If he like, you know, oh, I'm a dealer and I just heard that there's a devil fruit on this island. It gives you the hint of it. It's not a guarantee. Like, I still did. Yeah, they're probably very hard to find.
There's definitely like the more and more we learn about like the whole Nika situation and the government like covering that up, and especially with them trying to take out Vegapunk right now, it speaks to the whole propaganda agenda that's obviously been, that wagon's been, you know, rolling for 800 years plus at this point. And I said this pretty much every other stream at this point now. I don't believe there's only 3 types of devil fruit. I don't believe there's only 3 types of hockey. I don't believe that the weaknesses and the curse of the sea and stuff like that is as it is. It's just I think that if you do believe, it is. But if you don't believe everything that you're told and you question that and things like that, because we've seen, like, why didn't Kaido, like, you know, there were people who could have, like, if Kaido was really having like, you know, like self unaliving thoughts and things like that, I feel like you know, he could, like a lot of people say he could have just jumped into the ocean or something like that instead of jumping up, and I think that is disproven or debunked because he's a fish. You know, he's got a fish fruit. He can breathe.
I think I disagree with you. I think there are 3 types of devil fruits. It's just in those 3 types there are different tiers of it, just like hockey.
Yeah, and like one way or the other, you know, it's just, I think that there's just so many more different ways that like the devil fruits can be utilized and that hockey can be utilized, but they're wanting to limit the creativity of the individuals, because that's the main limit that we see on Luffy's devil fruit. His only actual limit is his imagination. Nobody's gonna be able to tell this
Exactly.
man that he can't do something. I think literally every single devil fruit and every hockey feat is exactly that, but people are told. Rayleigh literally
Hmm.
said, "You're not gonna get that good at hockey right away," and because
Yeah.
of that, it took Luffy time. But I think if somebody were just to tell somebody as punch brain as Luffy, "Oh yeah, you'll get it in no time," he would literally get it in no time. But it's the framework and infrastructure of the whole lexicon of the One Piece verse being manipulated and orchestrated to be limiting to people's creativity by the world government for hundreds of years, when the entire population of a world believes that devil fruits are cursed by the sea. It becomes factual.
That's very interesting. When I was
Hmm.
first getting into One Piece, have you guys ever watched or heard of like the disappearance of Haruhi or the melancholy of Haruhi?
Sounds
I've heard
familiar.
of it. I've never
Okay.
checked it out though.
Uh spoilers for it. The lady in it has the power to like will any if she wants it to happen subconsciously, it's going to happen. And
Yeah,
everyone
she's a
around her,
reality shaper.
like everyone knows this, but if she figures it out, like reality collapses. I'm curious, or when I was first like getting into One Piece and like starting to get caught up, I was theorizing with Cody a while back, like what if Luffy believes that Zoro is untouchable, therefore Zoro is untouchable, you know?
Yeah, see, I had the same thought. I think it's like manifestation and kind of like law of attraction in a way is you put the energy, you think you're in that mindset so much that it becomes reality. And that's the whole thing with Luffy, that it, like you're saying, it's his imagination, it's how he thinks.
Yeah, and I love that. I really do. And yeah, I remember watching a video where somebody was ranking like all of the strongest characters in like all of anime and stuff like that, and they put Haruhi as like number one because literally she shapes the universe around her as a godlike figure or whatever. Um, but it's interesting is that like me and Cube were spitting on this kind of take for a long while back and forthing it. Is that like like I think that the world of One Piece is just a dream state, and like because they say that like when the dawn comes and stuff like that, what if the entire past 800 years has all taken place compressed into one night, and then when the world finally wakes up, things snap back to how it was. And specifically for those who have the will of D or conquer Taki or some other supreme king qualifications, those are basically people who are in a lucid dream state, and they are able to alter things
Mm.
around them in the seemingly real world. What do you
God
think of that?
damn, Dex. God damn, man. Oh,
I
that's
like
so
the
fucking
idea.
good. That's so
That's
spicy. Go ahead,
that's
DJ.
incredibly interesting to
It's
have
just
like
I don't
come across that same theory in different ways.
I don't know how
That's why I love One Piece.
satisfied I would be if the like manga ends and it's somebody just like like waking up from a dream like, "Oh, that was a nice dream." And like, I don't know.
I think it'd be so funny if like they wake up from the dream and they're just like, "Wow, oh man, well maybe that's how One Piece will actually end," and then you just see like the first volume of One Piece on their nightstand, and
Dude,
like
don't
it's like a
tell me
full
that.
circle.
I think it would be more interesting if it was the world itself, like the planet itself, like how, like the Shintoism, everything has a life, it has a soul or whatever. So what if the
Mhm.
earth has a soul and it dreamed of having inhabitants, of the world having a story, but it hasn't gotten there yet because
Bro,
it's just a
Papa
fresh planet.
Goo, yes, the world willed itself into sentience and is like, and so that's a thing about romantic storytelling, and we start off with romance dawn and things like that. Like
Okay.
with
Hmm.
romanticized story arcs and things like that, it's about the fantastical. It's about like altering facets of reality to fit like into this crazy oblong shape and things like that. And so like seeing the world through Luffy's eyes as we do a lot, we see the goofy bits and we see some of the punch happy bits
Mhm.
and we see some of the grit and things like that. But when we take the post arcs and Oda shows us the world through other characters' eyes, it's much more
Hmm.
dark. It's much more grim and things like that. So I think that we are all seeing most of One Piece through Luffy goggles. And every single time we take the Luffy
Ooh,
goggles off, it's more of a real world, right?
Yeah, and I
yes.
think that's just kind of like what One Piece is. It's about perception. It's like the Marines, you find your own type of justice. If you're a pirate, you find about how doing it your own way, building your own crew, how you want it. It's just about
Yeah, and one of my
perspective.
favorite panels in all of Egghead is Atlas literally said it's all about how you perceive things. Perception shapes reality as you know it. So I've been cooking on like a lot of these theories, like videos coming, eventually, guys. But but yeah, it's just I wanted to spit some of that because it was definitely like around the area of what we were saying, and it like I feel like it kind of helps connect all of these different like threads as well. I would be super happy if that's the ending of One Piece. You heard it here first, folks. Like,
But if it was like all a dream,
I couldn't deal with that.
It was all a dream, bro.
I can't deal with that either. I like the idea of the world waking up, but I think it'll be like a new era type of wake up, not like a literal wake up. Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if you left it open ended, so it could be both. Like Schrodinger's, One Piece.
Schrodinger's boys, yeah.
But I think it would that would be the best way where everyone could be happy. I think is that it could be like the whole Inception, like the little top keeps spinning kind of vibe. Like I think that would be because really you got to think about it. However, this guy is going to end One Piece, some people are going to be upset. Like people will crawl out of the woodwork to bash on it and things like that. Like, but I think the way that would probably get the most positive response is to leave it more open-ended.
Polypede! Sorry, Vex. Polypede works in the chat.
I was just typing the same thing.
Yeah. Polypede, hit me up. I want you on Chadmirals, bro. Hit me up.
He does his own Friday podcast. So I'm pretty sure he just wrapped up and is joining us now. But he was mentioning that when we were talking about it on the chill stream on Wednesday. So everybody make sure you go check out Polypede Works. Absolutely.
Go subscribe to my end.
So I was thinking last week about how many different groups of 3 there are in One Piece.
Oh man, don't even start with me.
You got something to add? Like I didn't know where I was adding, like where I was going with it when I was thinking about it, but I was like, yeah, there's like 3 different types of devil fruits, 3 types of hotkeys, there's 3 major factions. Like just
the Zoans, there's 3 different Zoans.
Yeah.
Like you could keep going. There's the Admirals, you could the big 3, the Monster Trio. You could keep going. The Boa Sisters are a 3. You could go. There's like 3 different factions of the worlds: the Revolutionaries, the Pirates,
what's up with
government. That? Like you could just keep going trios, and like the number 3 is huge. Think of Sanji.
The
Sanji
ASL
represents the number 3.
The ASL as well. Like
ASL, Rock and Guard.
Yeah. Ghost Train of Thought and TJ have both been cooking back and forth on TikTok about it, and I've just been absolutely eating that shit up. I love it. Like and like the whole like 5 piece
so good,
is also like evident. But yeah, like 3s and 5s.
That's like the different side of math piece. There's like math piece where you like figure out, like the timing and stuff, but then there's this side of math piece where you could play with the numbers in a different way.
Yeah, shout out to Randy Troy with the whole math piece, agenda going. I definitely don't vibe with every little bit of it.
Not all of it, but a lot of it. When you do like think about it, you're like, wow, that would hit. It makes sense. Like, and if Oda's thought about it, this long, this boy's cooking. It's crazy.
Straight up.
I gotta.
Can one of you guys make a poll in the chat? 1 second, Tree. Can one of you guys make a poll in the chat? Cube asked me to jump on the stream, and I want to make it fun. We're gonna let the audience decide if Cube can or not. In reality, I'm probably either way gonna let him hop on, but I want to see what the audience says.
It's open invitation. Chill. Let him in.
Oh no, I'm just messing with him, Cody. Nope.
Oh,
but
I don't know how to make
5
polls.
piece. I can hop on real quick and do that. But to speak on the specifically the 5 piece, because you're seeming a little bit curious about that tree, is that I'm gonna not be able to do any amount of justice to it, but specifically Ghost Train's been cooking on it for a bit. I know TJ is spitting back and forth with him on that as well. But I know one of the major connections is that post time skip we have 5 people who have had admiral position. We have 5 different major seas, being like the north, east, south, west, and the Grand Line. And TJ, I'm gonna let you spit on it a little bit more.
Goka 5. Goka 5.
There's 3 new emperors back on the thing of 3. 3 emperors were cycled out after time skip.
Yeah, you could also think about like when Luffy
Oh,
was added, he
Cube
was
said
the
throw
5th.
3-day on it too. Oh,
But
go
yeah,
ahead,
I was
TJ. Sorry,
also
brother.
no, you're good. I was also just thinking about like the East Blue, the first 5. Like we had the first 5 Straw Hats, and those were like our main Straw Hats for a bit. You know, that was the crew, just 5 for a bit. So I think about that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say earlier, like, I'm not big into the like theory side of it. I keep it all to myself, and I've shared a little bit with Cody because like I'm a curious type of person, but saying these things making the connection with Haruhi and making the connection with Threes and knowing that you guys and the community is also talking about this stuff is so so freaking refreshing.
But yeah,
Because
like
it's like, oh dang, I'm a One Piece guy. Oh no, when did it happen?
it's not even One Piece. Like in anime in general, trios are just like 3 is a big thing. Think about like Naruto or all the teams in Naruto. It's 3. You know, like you could keep going on and on. Like Jujutsu Kaisen, you got the 3 main characters, and you just keep going and going. Threes,
Well, hold
trios,
up.
it's very
JJ
popular.
Yeah.
JJK
Sup,
is a
guys?
group of 4.
Well, yeah, you could say that.
What's up?
We've been joined
What's
by a
up?
historian of the last arc, Cube of
Fun,
the Red Sea. He
fun
is
fact.
him, the goat.
Fun fact: in French, 3 can also when you're a kid, you could rhyme it with the word cross, croix trois,
Oh, okay.
which in One Piece is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, guys?
What
I
up?
just
What up?
posted the poll. Should 3-day join the stream?
Why is that even a question?
Hey yo, One Piece, the number 3 being everywhere. In German, it's pronounced dry, right? What's
Eins by
Oh, I
yeah,
would know
dry,
that.
yeah.
in a world of water?
Okay.
Oh,
Obviously, no matter what the
oh.
results of the poll, I want to say it for brevity's sake. No matter what the results of the poll, 3-day, you do not have to join the stream if you do not want to.
By the way, to go back to what you were saying, Vex, about the whole dream thing, that is basically in French lore. That's what a reverie is. What you were just explaining.
I knew you would want to get on and cook with me about that, Cuba. I absolutely knew it. Like,
Yeah,
as
no,
soon
when
as
you
I
said
said it, I was like, Cuba is waking up from his nap somewhere. Like, and he's like, somebody mentioned Dream Piece. Like, let's go. Like,
it's all a reverie, dude. It's
Oh,
all a
TJ was
reverie.
spitting on everything's
Wait,
a
what?
reverie. I think we've talked about this before. I was going to say TJ's been spitting on Disney Piece Cube.
Yeah, man, dude.
Looping
Yeah.
back around to everything being a dream, I was looking into it and I couldn't find a good panel of Blackbeard with an actual shadow anywhere.
Nasty Ninja put it in the chat earlier, and I thought it was so funny how he said, he said, you could see his shadow in the gaps between his teeth.
Oh man.
That is
Slander.
amazing,
Dang.
amazing work.
Yeah,
No, that's his
no,
darkness, dude.
Disney Piece is a real thing, dude. If you listen to some of the Disney songs, it is very scary how it fits with One Piece, especially Pocahontas. Especially Pocahontas.
I like Colors of the Wind.
Drums of War, Mother
Oh, yeah.
Nature.
No,
You could talk. You could
Drums
think about
of
all of
War.
that. And if you think,
Mhm.
of, if you listen of, wait, sorry, there are people walking. Sorry, I'm outside. If you think of Color of the Winds, at the end there's a segment where it talks about it seems it talks about poneglyphs, red stones, wrote poneglyphs, and then it
Damn,
talks about
okay.
the wolf crying to the half-corn moon. And who do we see at that same night that Odin dies? We know the half-corn. You have what's her name? Yamato, wolf. Like there's some Disney song. It's weird how it goes well with One Piece. Hunchback of Notre Dame as well. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is, and it's French oriented, so it does make sense.
Well, I mean,
That's one of my
aren't it-
favorite Disney movies.
it's just based
Sorry,
off
dude,
of
go ahead.
old stories, right? Like, who's to
Yeah.
say that both One Piece and Disney aren't taking inspiration from the same original piece of work?
Yeah. And if you want to blow your mind, in Hunchback of Notre Dame, Phoebus, when Esmeralda makes fun of his name, you know what he says? It means sun god.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
Oh
It's like,
wow.
yeah, dude, it's like, it's weird. It's very weird.
I
Disney
think
movies are
Luffy's
one.
gonna be a hunchback by the end of One Piece.
He kind of looked like one when he was Nightmare Luffy. Kind of had the hunch.
Oh my goodness.
Blackbeard's gonna
Also,
break his
Shout
back
out
in
to
the process.
Vexus in chat for 5 gifted memberships. Goated Vexus moment. What?
Hey,
Go to Vexus
Ayo.
this moment. You've been raining memberships, brother.
Dude,
I
he's making.
gotta make shell out for the community. These guys did it for me for months while I wasn't in a place where I could make it rain. So I'll
Time to
pull
rain.
that mantle. You know, I'll
Yes,
hold
sir.
it up.
Yes, sir.
Actually, isn't Luffy literally, and Vex, you're breaking a record, but isn't Luffy literally dressed similar to Aladdin? If you think about it, who had a
Mhm.
monkey.
Oh man,
yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
I just
yeah.
thought of that.
Huh.
The diamond in
it's
the rough.
interesting. Yeah, like I mean, especially post time skip. This got me thinking about the whole gargoyle thing, like with Boa specifically being like fascinated with Luffy, like because like the Hunchback of Notre Dame gargoyles, obviously, and like I think that'd be really interesting to see that come into play. Although I think it could be kind of dark, you know, you know what I mean, like
Like,
as
do you know?
well.
Do you know every Disney movie basically they're based off dark stories, so it could make sense. You know,
Yeah, like the Brothers
like
Grimm and like stuff like that. Like there's a
yeah.
lot of like romanticizing, like we'll go back to that term of like certain other older like stories and things like that. And you got to think about like older literature as well, which you know Oda has based characters off of. Like literally, there's a character named Don Quixote, which is one of like the
Yeah,
most famous like classic literature
Yeah,
books of all time.
I was sad at Dressrosa when he didn't destroy a windmill like right there on screen. Like
Yeah, but you can't really do a 1-to-1 of a story like that and have it survive in today's day and age. But yeah, like
yeah.
there's just a lot of like classic literature that obviously Disney has pulled from and One Piece does. So I mean, I see the Disney piece, but I think that Oda is taking it like a lot more beyond that. And to shout out to like what Tachi's favorite word is, syncretism or whatever, in that you kind of do a bit of an amalgam of several different like I wouldn't say like intellectual properties, but like like just like schools of thought and pull a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B to come up with something completely original. Like and
Disperse your
I
homages
love that
across the board.
yeah, it's everywhere in One Piece, like everywhere, because you could see like the sun god ties to obviously like Hanuman and like the Raw as well, like with which I know you've got tons of connections with that, and then like we've got to go with Sun Wukong, obviously, but like they're all three from different mythos and like pantheons and things like that, but you could see like the influence, the impact, the footprints that were left along the way in like Luffy's whole character arc and things like that. So I think it's really really amazing the way that Oda has done all of this. So I mean, I'm here for like a lot of the Disney piece connections, but at the same time, I'm just like, yo, it's like everything. It's literally everything.
It's ridiculous. If you think about it, like the best example is the stuff I found with Peter Pan. There's a mix between the real Peter Pan that's very dark with the Disney one. Like everything about Darrow Foods, it's described just like Peter Pan's imagination. But Marijoa, the way it's described just like Neverland, a place where people would not leave. The person would never leave the island. You think of Emu, and would have a shadow acting on his behalf, bringing all the kids, and having every kid forget. As time goes on, they forget about their own family. It's not that their family abandoned them; he made them forget them. By time goes on, by having fun, it's crazy.
Like Sugar's power.
What if
like Sugar's power? Yeah.
What if we've seen Emu?
Same thing.
What if we've seen Emu?
Real dark.
I did it again. What if we've seen Emu in all of their glory, and they just are a shadow? Period.
Bro,
I would like
the
that.
first thing I thought when you said emo, I was like, "Where are you?"
I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm dying off of that one.
Sorry.
But no, I think that would be something so interesting. Is like and it gives me like a lot of other like fairy tale vibes, and I don't want to spoil too much for Black Clover. But there is a very, very, very prolific character who will oftentimes just like just show up as like a person with a different face and just pretend to be like and just like walks around the town and just like is like hanging out and just being like an everybody like a and like a I think that would be so crazy if we knew Emu all along, or like they were there. Like if there's just like an homage, like a full like 2-page spread of just like all of these little clips of like when they were just lurking the whole time. Like I think that would be so cool.
Like thinking about how we can put shadows into bodies, or stuff like that, or remove dreams, or like who's to say that Emu isn't a conglomerate of like all of that?
Yeah.
And that's how they're still around.
I just wanted to, real quick, before we get on another topic with the Disney piece stuff, you have to remember it's all following the hero circle. I think Dindin says that a lot too. It's that classic tale of boy leaves home, boy has grand adventure, boy falls into trouble, boy comes back a hero, you know what I mean, and saves the day, and then it's all that same cyclical thing. That's why it's so familiar. But it does definitely draw inspiration from like different.
You forgot when the boy gets brought to the yard by somebody's tantalizing milkshake as well.
And also the girl.
But or go for the old one. Yeah.
If you think about it, most of the Disney or all those stories, there's what about it's either a princess or a girl or a guy who gets them to come to an aid. They don't do it by themselves. They're unaware of it.
Hero's journey, it's the hero's journey.
It's the hero's journey. But I do believe what you guys are saying about Emu is right. Like, it has to, the fact that that face is still being hidden. It has to be a face that we've seen, or like maybe there's a reason why all the princesses like Nami, Vivi, and Rebecca have similar features. Like,
I was saying there is no face. What if Emu themselves are a shadow?
Oh,
like they are a silhouette.
I think that's really interesting, and it kind of goes into the whole like the sapphire scale thing. Like if you can walk into the daylight, and like how that ties back to Thriller Bark, because everything ties back to Thriller Bark. Is that like if Emu were somebody who could not necessarily like they're in like the closest place to the sun, except for maybe the white sea, and they're not even able to.
Luffy has to go because you can't cast a shadow without a sun or something.
Yeah,
I think that's crazy. Like, but I want to spit it to the full panel here. If Emu were to be like masquerading as one like NPC, like side character throughout the story, who do you think? Let's start with Cody because he just looks like he's vibing right now, and I want to put him on the spot. But if Emu were just secretly one random character from all of the 1,000+ that we have seen, who do you think would be like the most like like left field, but also still really impactful?
Panda Man.
Solid, really solid. I was gonna go for like a whoop slap, meme, but no, that's even better. Like, what about you, TJ? If Emu was just in disguise this whole time, what's the one like side character you think would be like the craziest?
Is Corazon here? Corazon is with you?
Dill somehow shows up. No, I mean, Lucas, let's hear your spit on it real quick and see.
It's obviously going to be Kelly Funk. Emu has the jacket. No, I'm joking. I don't know, man. I would say probably Panda Man, just because that is the person we've seen throughout the series multiple times. He's always in the background. He's always somewhere. Doesn't matter if he's with the Marines or the Pirates. He's always somewhere. Which I know it's just an Easter egg character, but we know Oda, man. He loves his big twist, and that would be the biggest fucking twist of all time. But other than that, I don't know. I at first I was gonna go with a meme answer like whoop slap, like you said, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like just a real obscure canon. Makino's been Emu this entire time. Like,
Wait, I'm sorry, I walked away. What was the question?
I was saying, like, if Emu was just hiding in the shadows and like masquerading with like a different face, like, what do you think would be the most impactful like side character that's like just kind of like left field that it would be crazy if we got the reveal that was actually Emu the whole time? Like, and Cody said Panda Man.
Panda Man's a great choice. besides Panda Man, it'd be kind of crazy if it was actually somebody like Shanks because of the whole evil Shanks theory, and like it possibly being that Shanks having somebody else go to the girl, like it wasn't actually Shanks, but it's somebody that looked like Shanks went to the girl say. Like that could have just been like a different I don't know. That sounds pretty dumb, but it, I don't know. Like Panda Man would just be the best choice. I can't think of any other character.
What about you, Tree? If you had to pick one,
Big News Morgans.
let's
Ooh,
go!
because they're
Yes,
controlling the news. Okay.
no, oh my god,
Just
Cube heard me cook on this for like
I'm
5
not saying
hours
it's
back in like
realistic.
the
I'm just
Nakama
saying that
VC
reveal
like
would be
so long ago.
crazy.
Yeah, that would be insane.
That would be crazy, absolutely. And like it's
But
super sus. Go ahead.
Morgan's being the guy that like hyped up Luffy and like went against what the government wished for with the bounty poster. It just seems a little weird if that would be true.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting if like what if Emu is somebody who is not this like crazy like or what if they have like a Hakuba situation where when they're awake they're a nice person and when they're asleep they're like a bad person, and like what if like that's like I don't know, I think it'd be really interesting if that were like something, or if like maybe the Gorosei were manipulating like Emu beyond their power or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways I could see it being finessed and making a lot of sense. That's so good though. I love that Tree that you said that, because I need more from Big News.
I just want her to be a hot goth mommy. That's all I care about. She loves black, so like, please, yeah, please, like, make the final villain of One Piece a hot goth mommy, and like.
So I know earlier we were
Cube.
talking.
Whoa.
Oh,
sorry, go
never
ahead.
mind.
So-
You could go, Cube. My bad. I was gonna go off on a
So
little tangent.
I have a gag answer and a honest answer. The gag answer would be, and I would love it to be him, Bartolomeo.
Oh
It would be
my
so
Oh,
it would be
Bruh.
so hilarious.
Yes,
oh, that'd be
crazy.
that would
crazy.
be insane.
Crazy, dude. Oh my goodness. I love that
However,
so much. It's not even fair.
however, as a serious one, I think Mother Caramel should be put in the mix. It could be an interesting
Ooh.
twist, you know.
Is it
I really like
confirmed?
that. Yeah, like because I need her to be more important in the story because I don't think she's gone. I really don't.
Is it confirmed that dreams make devil fruits, right?
Desire
implied.
was the actual translation, I believe.
Desire.
Yeah, desire.
And it was a theory. It wasn't actually completely, confirmed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that that's his theory based off of what he has to go off of. I'll give my real take because Whoop Slap is the meme take, but honestly, iceberg.
Oh.
So like if the world government had been limiting like different forms of technology and had specifically made it to where the world, like if you even believe in like the whole flooding of the world and things like that, somehow there has been machinations in place that have kept technology from evolving beyond sea travel to the point, and like the sea train specifically was such a pivotal moment, and then you see like Tequila Wolf, which is a multiple 100-year effort and things like that, so that people don't have to use boats and whatnot. But if you had limited it and bottlenecked the full world to having to have boat travel, and you were the person who headed up the entire like boating, like I think that there's so much more to it, and it might have been a recent occurrence, maybe not Iceberg's full life, but even the name Iceberg is like it sunk the Titanic, and like specifically Dak is on a huge like theory kick right now about what if there's ice beneath Thriller Bark that's what's causing the perpetual fog around it, and that's where Oars's body was stored to be, obviously not decayed and things like that because he was frozen on the ice continent. And then the ice, the cooler in Marie Joie with the giant straw hat and things like that. Like there's a lot of connections to all of this as well, and the
There's a
melting of the
rule.
ice caps would also cause like a little bit of a flooding in the world. And so I think that like it would be really, really interesting if I mean I'm not like fully on board with this, but I think it would be really, really, really interesting if
There is
Emu
something.
had their thumb on top of like the whole world right there.
There is actually something. Remember the ruler I told you about that seems to connect to the disappearance of Lily? Comes from a place that seems to be Shandora, the Golden Sky, the city of the Golden Sky, and the name of that person is Imberg. Mix of iceberg and emu. which is interesting.
Oh wow, that's cracked. Maybe a video
And-
from this coming soon, actually.
I thought it was
the years
confirmed that the sea levels did rise.
It did.
Like when,
Yeah, but we don't
when they-
know if that was like like an actual machination or if that was just a coincidental side effect. You know.
So I was gonna ask, didn't Iceberg also memorize the blueprints for Pluton?
Yes,
Or
Yes.
the
that is
so
true.
so then if that was true, then you could take the thought to think, or like go upon the thought that maybe that's how that how we saw Lelucia, how we saw what got Lelucia was actually a version of Pluton or a
Yeah.
counter, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
that's crazy. And even when you go to like the
Mm.
forming of the Oro Jackson, and like all the way back to the dawn of the golden era of piracy and things like that, like Iceberg was still a kid, but like or Iceberg, yeah, he was around for like that, like which is what's also kind of crazy is he kind of like so I don't know at what point in his life. I don't think he was just like perpetually like emu. I think it might have been where like like a whole iceberg dead ahead kind of thing, where like in somewhere in his backstory he ended up getting like straight up replaced by like a doppelganger emu. And ever since then, it's just been straight machinations. Like I don't really fully buy into it, but the more we cook on it, the more excited I'm getting about the idea. But I just think that would be so crazy.
With how they're out to get Tom, I mean, it's possible.
explained Frankie's protection, if you think about with the bounties, because someone is making sure that Frankie is not recognized in those bounties. First, it's below 100 billion. Then it's putting the picture of General Frankie, and now it's literally the Sunny. Like it's weird. Someone is like it's more than Sanjay, It's like seems like someone really doesn't want Frankie to be recognized. So if imagine it's Iceberg, it would make sense,
Yeah, and the
kinda
fact that
wanna-
like they were buddies in the beginning, and like Frankie's name literally means like a drum, and like it would be a cool foil if we saw Frankie as like the ferryman like we were talking about on Wednesday, for like the Joy Boy and whatnot, and then his perfect foil, the guy who grew up with him, his rival, his antithesis, being the exact opposite, the gatekeeper.
Tree, you were gonna say something, my man. What was it?
Yeah, I'm over here like racking my head around emu and the shadows and Kuma, and I'm like, in theory, this is crazy. This is stupid. In theory, so the soul is a second, or sorry, the shadow is a second soul, as stated by Oda. Someone said in chat. So could we remove the shadow, like on Thriller Bark, and then remove the dream and the main soul from the body, and then put that dream into the shadow?
I mean,
Okay.
Kuba's fruit's a proof that I think it is possible. He could literally take out
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah.
I don't think he could
So
remove a soul though, or else there wouldn't
I
be
don't
a
think.
use for
Yeah.
the soul fruit.
I thought
I'm
that's
just
how
saying
they
that
were
There's
making
got to
fake
be a
devil fruits.
limitation.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
there
gotta
must
be
be a fruit,
limitations.
but there might be another fruit that could do what like, or it's weird. But let's say a fruit similar to pudding, but instead of memories, it's all about dreams. I don't know, inspiration.
Well,
or
I
something.
mean,
I was saying,
like we were saying,
emu's main body, because if there's some sort of sacrifice needed to create a devil fruit, emu's main body could potentially have been what was created for the darkness fruit or some shit. I don't know.
Ooh, yeah, that's interesting. But like I was saying earlier, is you don't need specifically a devil fruit to to remove souls, because we know they have a weight. It's something physical. It's something that Vegapunk, if anybody for sure, would have been able to have cracked at this point. I think, like from a science standpoint, without needing a devil fruit. I mean, obviously his devil fruit helped him get to that point, but after you kind of set up the groundwork, I feel like anybody can do it. You don't need a devil fruit to remove a soul.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just the way that I see it.
Regardless, I'm just giving the examples of what we've seen in the story as like a way to do it, because I don't think we've seen it with science yet to do something like that.
And we do know Vegapunk.
I think it's been implied, but I don't think we've seen
I
it
would
shown.
say Vegapunk has created an almost perfect devil fruit. It was only imperfect because it was pink.
And you have to take this with a grain of salt, but actually, if in panel, We never saw Blackbeard eat the Yami. Tatch had it. Then we see him killing Tatch, and then him using the fruit. We never actually saw. He had a bloody blade. So there is this thing that the reason why Burgess had a knife is there's another way through the non-devil fruit. Like maybe he never ate the fruit. He took it directly from Tatch. So
And
take it for a grain of salt. Take it for a grain of salt, but actually we never see him eat the fruit himself or hold it. There's only Tatch. So, you know, it's
when I was looking for panels of Blackbeard without the shadow, I saw it, I didn't click on it, but apparently there's a theory that Blackbeard and Whitebeard's devil fruits are sister devil fruits, so it's okay that they're in one person. I don't know. It's
I don't know.
Oh, that's
about
interesting.
I didn't look too far into it.
I don't know either.
Oh, go ahead, Vix.
I was just gonna say, I think that's definitely interesting. As one of the only things that we really know about the Gura is that the government referred to it as the most destructive paramecia, and one of the only things that we know about the Yami Yami is that it's a logia, air quotes, but and that what did the government specifically say about it though? I know they had some sort of notoriety.
I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to laugh. Cody's cats are going crazy in the background. They're just cute as fuck.
My cats are goons. I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to take attention away from y'all.
No, it's adorable, man. Like
entertaining.
It's entertaining. Yeah, they're playing. They're just going at it back there, man. I couldn't help it. I
appreciate y'all coming out here to cook, though. This is the easiest stream I've ever had to do.
Let me correct the record. I said sister devil fruits. I meant to say twins.
Ah, okay.
Actually, it does make sense because. Oh, sorry.
I feel like they would have to like synchronize or be super similar, kind of like how we've seen devil fruits that are like super similar, as in they're like almost off the same branch of the tree. But I don't know. I feel like they're too different to be synchronized, if that's the right word.
Yeah, what I was thinking is like just real quick, I'll spit. But I was about to bring up like we've seen, if everyone here's seen Film Red, and light spoilers if you haven't, but like specifically that like the hockey can work if you share like a genetic bond through like interdimensional spaces, and that devil fruits can in fact produce interdimensional spaces. So what is it like if a part of Blackbeard is existing inside of his interdimensional pocket like space, and that's the part that has the Gura, and it's not necessarily in the same actual space as like if he does like a bit of like a Kamui dimension like swap like
he
Toby
basically
and
creates
Naruto.
a barrier between the two. Yeah.
And so if it's like the fact that they're two souls that are residing in part of the same body, but that they're not within the same actual like dimension, and that's how they're not tearing his body apart or something like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cube, though, because I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No. It's just to go with the whole twin thing because it is interesting because I do believe the Yami, when they talk about darkness, it is in space. It's a deep sea. Hence why it affects certain devil fruit users specifically, but then he has to sync all the other things that's not devil fruit related. So if you think about it and you think of the Gura, that's literally the power of the Gura is literally Poseidon's power. The god of land and sea, who is ironically the grandfather of the phoenix, who he treated like his own son. So in that idea, it could be a twin because there is a connection, like a theme between them with their abilities. Their purpose or their potential, like what they do to the sea. Like they connect more to the sea than anything else. So I do like the twin theory.
Okay, I'm starting to see the vision.
I like what you're saying, but I still subscribe to the Imu Umi, and Umi means ocean or sea in Japanese.
Yeah,
that's the representation in the story.
Yeah.
I don't know if Emu will actually have like a literal like water devil fruit, and it not being like they can manipulate water like they're water bending, but it's like sea stone. Like they can negate devil fruits, but they could still be affected by devil fruits.
But hockey can do that, so what's the point?
That's what I'm saying. I'm more of a fan. if Emu Umi connections are real and the sea is supposed to despise like literally like what we some of the few things that we've heard from Vegapunk talking about it is that the mother nature and like the ocean despise devil fruits. And so like the thing is if there is a connection there, I don't see Emu having a devil fruit at all. I think it's just like unfettered hockey, like
Okay.
beyond all of the propaganda, something that is standard at the penultimate form, and they've limited everything like by spreading the lies like no, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that, nobody can do that. And if nobody is actually like because like mu can mean void, so if it's like kind of like the Odyssey thing, like with Odysseus like beefing with the Cyclops, like if you say for 800 years nobody can do something and you are nobody, then like through the collective like like brain soup and like all the theta waves and stuff like that, like eventually you end up getting this penultimate power and limiting everyone else in the world from ever reaching that point.
Okay.
But I think that's like I think that's what we'll see as like ultimate hockey.
Kind of
And I don't
building
think
off
it
of
has to
what
be a
was
devil
said
fruit.
earlier and what you're saying now. Instead of like, what if there's a fourth type of devil fruit, which was said earlier? What if there's a fourth type of hockey? Is kind of what you're going after or implying.
I think that there's only one hockey is what is more of what I'm saying, and they've drawn imaginary boundaries within that one type of hockey to dictate what other people are capable of. But really, there's only the one is my main agenda, I would say.
Ooh.
But it could go either way.
What if the same thing, but for devil fruits? They're all just
exactly
dreams and desire.
Yeah.
They just
that's what I was saying
differently.
about Brooks Devil Fruit. Yeah, that's what I was saying about Brooks Devil Fruit is he had a blank Devil Fruit. Like that's just like a theory of mine. Obviously, I have no real total backing on it, but like if they're all just blank Devil Fruits until a will is inserted into them, and then there's also the information that is being withheld, limiting what they can do with their imaginations.
Maybe hold on. I'm about to cook. Maybe. Is everyone here? I'm on that. I'm on that Attack on Titan grind right now. Not anymore because I finished it. But whoa, was there echo? Okay.
No, I think we're good.
No, you're good.
Okay. I finished Attack on Titan. So it's kind of spoilers, kind of not. What if a devil fruit user can experience or feel the same as the previous users? Like what if there is like imprints per se on the fruit and the memories are transferred up per user?
I think it's possible with the fact like with Luffy when he got his he like was more joyful or whatever, right? I think it's possible. And then
Yeah,
like
and then
when
obviously you see the Sabo immediately using
Sabo
like
and
the
Ace,
Fire
yep.
Fist techniques, and I know I definitely like the whole like all for one approach. Like how there's a little bit of each. Yeah, a little bit of each user like carries a lot, or like the Avatar state even. And we've seen that represented in a few different like very popular medias. I thought it was done very well. And I think Oda could absolutely hit it out the park like no one else has before, if that is what we're going with here. But yeah, I really do like that kind of vibe as well. I was gonna go somewhere else with it, but I lost my train. So someone else.
I was gonna jump in because even if you think about it, ever since Luffy went Gear 5, he thinks of taking a lightning like he knows what he's able to do with it, and then he remembers Pluton, and Frankie even calls out for him. Like, dude, remember about Pluton? Like
on
so
with Gear 5, his heart was doing like a beat, and he was like, this is whatever. But then when he got back up and did it again, he's like, this is more like it, and he made it his own. Do you think the first time he was doing the beat, it was like the previous user and like their beat?
And he's the type to march to the tune of his own beat,
Yeah, the beat of his own drum.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that because at Shandora, it was one of their songs. And they knew about Sanganika.
I think you
So
are
that's
cooking on
that's pretty
something
good.
with that tree, because even Zunesha was like, "Oh my god, it's Joy Boy," and then after Luffy did it the second time, it's like, "Oh, this boy, he reminds me so much of you. It's like you're right here." Like it wasn't him mistaking it; he was immediately
Yeah.
aware of like, "Oh, this is different," but it's like you're right here, man. Like,
Yeah.
So I think you're definitely cooking.
Yeah, there's definitely something to that.
I just thought of the
there's-
saddest possibility. Oh my god.
We'll
this,
share
I'll
it.
double down.
Let Cube spit, and then I'll
I was
touch
gonna
back
say,
on a little bit.
with what you just said, I'm doubling down with the recent chapters. The Iron Giant got activated for the Drums of Liberation. That's his energy source. That's the source
Mhm.
that Vegapunk was looking for, Drums of Liberation. I'm doubling
I
down on
like
that.
that a lot. Yeah, like what I was. Oh man, so like,
Oh,
if
I
you guys
suppose
are saying
Kuma
like
would recognize
maybe
the drums too.
that's exactly
Kuma,
where I'm
yeah,
going with this. That's exactly where I'm going with this. Is that if Kuma would recognize the drums if they were actually Nika's, but if Luffy did alter it, what if this goes back to the whole he didn't hear Jitty say "I love you" thing, and he doesn't recognize Nika before?
But I think
Like,
Bonnie will, because Bonnie didn't really get introduced to that version. She kind of got introduced to a reiteration because of Kuma reiterating it to her. So I think like down the
game of
line,
telephone.
over and over again, it's diluted to a different version each time.
yeah, I just think it would be so sad if he literally saw Nika face to face and didn't recognize it. Like, oh
Mhm.
goodness,
That would
bro,
that would
Yeah,
be pretty
I
sad.
think we're definitely gonna get a panel of him.
Come on, man.
being
Kuma
Luffy's
needs a
face.
W.
I
Yeah,
think
Don't will
he
this into
needs it.
existence.
Yeah.
as
Kuma
Nika.
and Blackbeard are of the same race.
I like that a lot, Cody.
I'm here for it.
Every time you talk about it, I'm like, yes, because I think
Dude.
Joy Boy is a Buccaneer as well. And to tie it all into
Yeah.
that sacrifice theory I have, I think when the first cleansing of the Buccaneers happened is when the Nika fruit was born, and Joy Boy was the first user of it.
Yeah, I can see that. It
Mhm.
would explain the Straw
Okay.
Hat. The Straw Hat wasn't big enough in Marijoa for a giant, but it could be big enough for a Buccaneer.
And it's just poetic that the first user of Nika's fruit would be like one of the last surviving Buccaneers.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
reason why I like Cody's theory about Kuma possibly be also Kuma Blackbeard also being a Buccaneer is because of Kuma's fruit. He doesn't need to sleep as much. He can remove fatigue. And we know Blackbeard doesn't sleep, so we don't know if that's a Buccaneer thing as well. The whole sleeping thing. And that's what I like
With
about
the
it, because that's
removing
an
the
interesting
fatigue
loophole with the fruit.
thing, Koob, like Akuma removed the pain from the villagers, and then he ultimately had to take it because he said, "I don't want to leave this somewhere. I don't want it to go to anyone else." I don't think if Kuma could remove his own fatigue, he would like. It's got to go
I'll
somewhere.
find it for you. In SBS, when he was explaining years back, he was saying Kuma's fruit takes more than pain. He didn't say memories, but he said he can also take fatigue. He can last longer like that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, but
I'm
it
just
does
thinking
have
he's gonna
to
put
come
himself
back
into
to
a
him.
coma.
Why does it have to
It's
go
gonna
somewhere? Why can't he
he's gonna build
take
it up
it
and he's gonna get
and then bounce it into space? Like why
yeah.
does
The
he
law
feel
of
the need?
conservation of
Because he's a
it's still
goat.
I think
yeah. Like I mean, rip to the
it's an
space pirates
intangible
if that
that needs
happens.
to be put. I think it's because it's
Somewhere.
an intangible that needs to be put somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Boys, I won't lie. I have to go. I have to be up really early tomorrow at like 5 a.m. But you guys can keep cooking. I'm not going to get upset about it or anything. I love this. This flow has been amazing. The podcast has been amazing. I want you guys to keep cooking on it. Tree, you killed it tonight. TJ, you killed it tonight. Vexus, great as always. Cody, you're wonderful, legendary. Cube. So yeah, I'll send.
What?
Oh my
Cube,
God.
Garpus rocks.
I always got to pick on Cube, but now Cube, I love you, brother. I hope everything's good.
Dude, I'm a guest tonight. I'm a guest. Don't worry, man.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to be here.
Good, bro.
No, dude. You guys keep cooking, and I'll see y'all later. Okay.
Take it easy, bro.
Peace,
Later, take
brother.
care.
Here's your
Later,
brother.
guys.
To
See you,
touch
Lucas.
to what 3 Day was saying in the chat, everybody make sure you go check out Lucas on TikTok and check out the news coup because that was phenomenal.
Damn,
And
3 day.
yeah, but Lucas is so humble, not doing a full outro or a full intro. But that guy is an absolute unit of amazing quality content creation. Everybody make sure you show some love for that absolute goat. But 3 Day got me cooking right now as well in the chat, and I think that This could be, and we brought up the whole like, what if Emu has like her own Hakuba, like a split personality that comes out when they do sleep, and if like what if Blackbeard also has like a similar situation, and the reason that people think that Blackbeard doesn't sleep is because his alter ego comes out at night.
Yeah, I would say that it would make sense.
And it would be weird if like the reason why the individual can't exist in the daytime and it only comes out when they're sleeping is because of like maybe like they're weak to the sun as well, like a shadow or like a sapphire skill, like or something like that. I think that'd be so crazy, and that's just where my brain went as soon as I read 3-Day in the chat. Like
See, when you
if there's
bring up,
go ahead.
no, sorry, you go.
I was just saying, like, yeah, like that would also explain the two devil fruits potentially if there's two actual like different personalities, like maybe possibly, I don't know, like I think that's crazy. Go ahead though.
But when people bring up like Emu possibly having like two souls or like two personalities, split personality, it makes me just think like they forced Joy Boy's soul and like Emu had to overcome and suppress Joy Boy and keep Joy Boy's soul suppressed this whole time. That was the only way to take out Joy Boy.
Wow. Yeah, like it gives a whole other context to the OST track Overtaken, right? Like like
Yeah,
Nasty
Overtaken.
Ninja was saying in the chat, like but no,
I
that's
just think that would be
crazy.
wild because it would be all about a battle of willpower, and it'd just be about suppressing and keeping, kind of like how Blackbeard, how you're saying like Blackbeard can make a void and separate both the souls, and that way like having two devil fruits makes sense because they don't interact with each other. It'd be the same thing. You're suppressing somebody's soul and keeping them somewhere like locked in a subconscious in a way.
Yeah, and there's a lot of more really like that kind of parallels to all of this as well, like specifically um like the whole Inuarashi Nekomamushi thing at the beginning, like of Zao, how there's like they are literally night and day, like diurnal and nocturnal forces
Oh
that
yeah.
like, and there's a lot of and obviously we see the dawn and like you know, you are the moon unaware of the dawn, one of my favorite quotes. I know Cody's about to like go off on that, but yeah, it's like it makes so much sense to me that there would be like and like even Nightmare Luffy like is a little bit, because everything comes back to Thriller Bar.
But also think about this: the recent flashback where we get the rocks. A lot of the stuff seems to parallel with some of the information we got from Solo Bark, the island itself, from the West Blue. You have Zombie, and one of the rock zombies that we saw there seems to be on the first drawing when they all jumped in. Seems to be wearing the exact same stuff that he was wearing, the same armor, everything. You know, he's one on the side, all the way in the back. So it
Before we
does.
branch too far out from Blackbeard, I do want to circle back around to that after this.
Okay, no worries. And and my whole point is like the parallel between that flashback and Thriller Bark is, I think Vex's idea of Blackbeard having multiple personality. We've seen Luffy losing his shadow, and he's able to take 100 shadows inside him. You know what I mean? Like it could be possible that there was something different that happened to Blackbeard, where he has like 3 personality inside him, 3 shadows, but just independently living, not one, not like the opposite Nightmare Luffy, basically.
Okay.
Oak Tree, you were saying you wanted to spit on some more Blackbeard stuff.
Yeah, I have a Blackbeard original theory that Cody's been wanting me to share for a long while. But it's it's hard to be like, oh yeah, let's talk about this now. So I wanted to make sure, like, well, we're somewhat still in talks of Blackbeard before we get too far out there. I'd like to share it, I suppose.
Yeah, spit.
Oh, it's been so long. So you know how Blackbeard captured Kobe, correct?
Yep.
Well, I not necessarily intended to. And he wanted to trade Kobe in order to be named like he wanted the Pirate Kingdom to be his, and in turn making him the king of it, a king of Pirate Kingdom would make him king of pirates, right? And I was explaining to Cody that it's a very roundabout way to do it, and regardless of whether or not he actually earned the title, because he is now king of pirates politically, the world will see him and recognize him as that, and it cheats the system without him actually having to go and do all of that hard work.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Basically boils down to that, and it's like, what do you do? If you're Luffy, you're like, well, he cheated, but it doesn't matter because the world already recognizes him as king of Pirate Island, the king of the pirates. And it's just
You know what? I really like that because in the recent chapter when Saturn pulls up, and remember they say, anyone under this rank, do not look him straight in the eye. What if there's something more that meets the eye about having that title of King of Pirates? Like there's a
Ooh.
place that only the King of like. It's weird, but we know names have an importance in One Piece. What if titles as well? Like maybe the title, the King of Pirates, regardless of how you get it, gets you somewhere because he said he wanted to be. If you think about king, part of the world government, you want a foothold in Marijoa, So
like, does Blackbeard actually want whatever the One Piece is, or does he want the title?
I don't think he wants either. From me, me personally, like I think that it's like because he's meant to be such a parallel / inversion, like a foil to Luffy. And Luffy, we find out like his dream all along is actually something much bigger, and that becoming the king of the pirates is just a stepping stone. It would be cool if there were the inverse there, where all of the machinations of Blackbeard are leading to that one true dream that isn't something that's just a stepping stone to Luffy. But I think it would be also interesting, and a possibility is if this is a ruse, and this is Blackbeard playing his cards extremely close to his chest, and like he doesn't trust his crew to tell them all individually what his true prerogative is, whereas Luffy did, and he just in broad daylight was like, "Oh yeah, I guess I haven't told you guys," and he just spits it freely, whereas Blackbeard doesn't. And I think that's like another interesting like reversal instead of the
Luffy,
reversal of their actual dreams, just the way
Luffy's
that
the
they reveal
embodiment
it.
of freedom, so he would freely speak it. And if
Exactly.
Blackbeard is
But
the
I think that
foil,
like with Blackbeard,
yeah,
yeah, he plays his cards way closer to his chest, and especially with having Kuzan on board, and like Lafitte said it as well. Like he's just like, yo, I don't know if we can like really like say like speak, and like and then like I think that he's definitely not the person who has told any of his crew members about his true intentions.
well, like
And that's something that'll be a big reveal later.
if Blackbeard is a foil to Luffy, would it not be a foil of Luffy if Blackbeard cheated to get the title, whereas Luffy went and did all of the hard work to achieve the title? Whether that's their end game or not, that's still a stepping stone to both of their dreams, assuming Blackbeard has ambitions beyond that, which, as of right now, I don't think we know.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see it multiple different ways.
And like,
I think
why would
that
he want it to be recognized as a
specifically,
kingdom? Like, what importance does that have in the story?
I think it's just
It's
wool,
there.
like wool over the eyes of the people who might want to be trying to stop him from his actual goal. Is like it's like a battle on two fronts, and like one is just like an ambush or something like that. Like I don't think that that's like I don't know. It's definitely interesting, but I'm more inclined to think that his true intention with capturing he wasn't there for Kobe, like you said, but like he realized that he could use Kobe as a bartering chip like after the fact and whatnot, and that I think that he was truly after the little chip, the authority chip, specific. Like he didn't know about it when he showed up, but as soon as he figured out what was going on in Kobe, it just explained it to him in broad daylight, like was fully exposited exactly what's going on. He's just like, oh, I gotta get me one of those. And so that might be why we saw a Blackbeard ship pulling up on Egghead, is that he was unable to recover the actual authority chip from Kobe, or he wants to get one from the highest possible authority he could, which, not being able to just storm into Marijois, he would probably assume that a Vegapunk would have the highest authority. And then if he does find out that there is a Gorosei there, that could drastically sway what's going to happen once we finally get back to current Egghead events and things like that.
I disagree with that, because if you are saying that his knowledge of Kobe going, oh yeah, this is very last minute, Blackbeard is a man with a plan, and I feel like going, oh well, now I've changed my goals with Kobe. Now that I have this new knowledge, which I don't think was necessarily new, I feel like that was always some part of his plan to just say, okay, well, if that's not going to work, let's willy nilly just go up to Egghead and try that instead.
I think upon the same thing. It's contingency plans. It's plan B, plan 2. Oh wait, this came about. Let's do plan C. You know, he's thinking about all these plans, but some things come into play and that change the
for
plan.
Blackbeard.
Well,
there
to
is
speak
actually
on it,
That Blackbeard has
Right.
plans because improv is free. Plans is this is how it's going to be, like as more foils.
Well, real quick, I'll just say one thing, and then I'll let Cube and TJ cook on it as well. But like, he had no knowledge of Seraphim before seeing S Hawk, because he was like, "Wait, whoa, what? Those flames? You know, those wings, that skin tone, that hair color." He was completely blown away. He knew about Lunarians. He had no idea about Seraphim until that, and I think upon recognizing what this power was and what it was potentially capable of, he knew, for one, oh, I want that, and for two, I cannot let the world government hold on to it. But Cube and TJ, sorry, go ahead and spit.
So
For
I'm
me,
gonna
I
jump
think
in
about.
because I'm gonna have
You
to
could
hop
go.
off. I'm just gonna hop off, but I was gonna basically say that basically Blackbeard's he was as shocked as is when he saw Rayleigh, when he said Pacifista. The Lunarian, he was intrigued, and then he saw the Pacifista, he was shocked. So I do think that played a role. But I have to hop off because I just saw the time, and it's I live in Europe, so it's very late right now. But thanks for letting me spit. You guys have been goats, just spitting.
Hey, thanks for joining. It was
Yeah,
nice
take
talking
it
to
easy,
you.
Cube. Get rested for tomorrow's W stream where we'll be cooking with Joy Boy
Joy
Theories,
Boy
the man himself.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Excited.
Thanks
But
for hanging out.
yeah, have a great night. Okay, yeah, we appreciate you, brother, for coming and cooking.
No worries, man. I
Take
appreciate
care.
you guys. See ya.
Yeah, TJ, what were you about to say?
Oh yeah. So for me, like when we're thinking about that topic, it makes me think about how he like thought of, okay, there's after Wano, these three are gonna go to here, they're gonna go to there. I'm gonna intercept Law at this island. Like it's
But he
almost like
didn't
he has an
know.
idea, but he didn't know exactly, right? So once he actually encountered the event, he actually made his actual next plan. He actually formalized his real plan after that, I guess you could say. But it makes me think he has pudding, and he might not have 100% guarantee that she'll actually be able to awaken and read the poneglyphs. But his plan B was, oh, I think the Straw Hats are going to go to Egghead. I'm going to go to Egghead and go after Robin. And that's one of the reasons why he's there at Egghead.
Super interesting. Yeah, I want to hear Cody's takes on this because I know Blackbeard is his guy, but I think he's AFK right now, possibly. I don't know.
There he is.
But yeah, Cody, what are your? I know you're very passionate about Blackbeard. Tell me your kind of takes on the whole situation. Do you think he's got this all? Like, I mean, Nasty Ninja just put it in the chat, like, the quote, like, "Ace, join me. I've got it all planned out." Like, you think he's kind of winging it a little bit, or what are your takes on this?
I think that for every piece that Blackbeard acquires, he has the ability to five-head it and like, well, I know where I'm going to use this piece, and he knows exactly when to sacrifice a piece to make it the most beneficial to himself. So like, I think with like Egghead and TJ saying Robin's at Egghead, and I've had this icky theory that even Smokey's like, that's a great theory, Cody, but it's icky. What are you doing? And I was like, I know it's icky, but my theory is that somehow Blackbeard is going to do a infiltration on Luffy's crew and swap Robin out for Katarina Devon, and that at the point where the Straw Hats discover the location of the One Piece, or when they get the last poneglyph, Katarina Devon will then make their appearance, return to Blackbeard with it, and they'll already have Robin captured, ready to go gung-ho for it.
I love that,
like
and I hate that.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
that, and I hate that so much.
Because then it makes me
Oh my
think, like,
God.
how do you guys not tell it's not the real Robin? Like, what are you guys doing?
But it's a mythical model zone, so like that's the only benefit of the doubt, and it even fooled Moria to Absol.
But with that implies that there's something at Laugh-Tale that Blackbeard needs.
Yeah. For me, I think like for him, it's about like the recognition. He's gonna go and achieve this goal, and just by achieving this, he's gonna get recognition, and therefore he's gonna get people to follow him, to follow his rule. Therefore, oppression, control. Like, and
What if
for
he
Luffy,
like
it's the
is
opposite.
Joker brained and he
He's
burns the One Piece?
What if he's
Oh
which is
Griffith
man.
very
brained and just wants
possible.
his little castle?
Oh my god.
He
No,
kind of said
let's not.
he
Let's
kind of
not.
said
I don't
that he
want to
wants
see Cody dissolve on stream. Like I don't need
he
it.
wants to be the little king over on the island. I mean,
Yeah,
same train of thought.
Hey
I
man, if
mean, what
Blackbeard
I'm
doesn't
thinking
have
is that
ambition, it would fit in why he can't use hockey that well. I mean, I get it. It's just
I think it
it'd
would
be
be
like a little
interesting is if
underwhelming of character setup from Oda to like hold on to Blackbeard for so long to be like that's his goal. That's like I'd expect it from Buggy, not from Blackbeard.
I think that what it would be for me, I can see it, and I don't like 100% buy into this, but I could see it also being a possibility that it's just that it's not necessarily that he wants to be the pirate king or like the king of the world or anything. It's just that like he wants to, like I said, like have a stranglehold on the narrative, on the information, the things that are being if because when we saw Buggy like showing the entire world Marineford and things like that, and you see people with
No,
titles
turn the
like
camera off. I
the
don't look good enough. No.
yeah, but the people like the man closest to the One Piece was Whitebeard, rip to a legend, and you know the strongest man you know on the planet, and like the man I think he is like he had the man with his foot atop the world was like another translation that I saw and stuff like that. And all these title scaling. I'm not trying to get into power scaling or anything like that, but specifically, if he were to gain an unparalleled level of notoriety that nobody else had, and specifically just so he could be the one above even Emu to sway propaganda in his own means and shape the world metaphysically through like all the stuff that we've been talking about. I think that would be like a really cool ultimate goal that he would need the One Piece to
He
accomplish.
asks Big News Morgans to join him. Control the media.
Yeah.
Join my crew, Big News Morgans. Like I've got it all planned out. Like, bro, that would be insane.
So I said it in chat earlier, but in chapter 17, when Luffy told Buggy for the first time that he's going to become king of the pirates, Buggy's response was, "Well, then I'm going to become god of the pirates." So my thought is, like, Luffy's going to be king of the pirates, right? But that's going to get outshined right after because he's somehow going to get titled god of the pirates.
That also
Kind of like
ties
how,
back to Dressrosa, kind of like how there was a
yes,
king of
Usopp
Dressrosa, but
becoming
then there was God Usopp.
God
Let's
Usopp.
go.
Yes.
Oh, that's so brilliant. I love that.
No, yeah, I
Yeah, I've
really
been thinking
do love
about that
that.
for a while.
Buggy D God.
Yes.
No, dude, one of the coldest panels I've ever seen is like right after the ASL flashback when we get to return to Saba Odi and it's showing us like what the rest of the world has been doing for 2 years. There's Buggy just like with his whole delivery service, just sitting there fat and happy with a big shading grin on his face. And he says, "The winds of this planet don't flow from east to west. They flow to me." And I'm just like, yo, that is the coldest thing
Yo.
I've ever heard anyone like. Oh my goodness, that is so freaking hard. Like when he
And
said
that's
that.
like Luffy's power, like what Mihawk said, drawing people towards you.
Yeah, I think Buggy
He
has
is
it
the
as
real
well, and that's
Joy
why
Boy.
Mihawk's
Oh
that's why
yeah, for
Mihawk's
sure.
on board. You know, for sure, for sure. I think so.
Buggy's the real Joy Boy.
Bro. And if like the theory comes out that he's actually like a celestial dragon baby that was somehow taken from God Valley, like it just gives him more credence.
He has a red nose on his face because the red is on his nose is supposed to represent the sun, and like Buggy is the actual only surviving member of the Sun God tribe.
I
Bruh.
disagree.
Dang it.
There's the cover story. The cover story. The monkey stole his nose.
Buggy can disassemble
Yeah.
any part of his body.
Why would he
so
willingly
true.
disassemble his nose for a monkey to run
maybe
off
it
with
just
it?
got pulled off
Because
of
it's
him.
No.
He said canonically
like-
that that nose is his real nose, and Oda has said canonically that that nose is his real nose.
Hear me
I
out.
think it was
Hear
a
me out.
play. I think it was a play on like, oh, I stole your nose, like that little, you know, like when you joke with a kid, oh, I stole your nose. You use your thumb, make it look like a nose. I think it was like a little thing
The
like
cover
that.
story
You
doesn't
remember
make
like
sense. Why would he
no
do
in
it?
Amazon Lily? Here, hold on. I'm gonna try to like headcanon this into making sense. Hear me out, guys. And Amazon Lily Luffy specifically says that's my family jewels. That's my treasure. You know, like when he's talking about a specific body part. And what does Buggy's nose resemble? No, I'm kidding. but the thing is like no, I'm not going with that whole route. But if he were to,
why did you bring it up then? Fuck it,
because
no, I'm the Chadmiral. I rank right now. Pause. Why did you bring it up?
It's gonna make sense if you let me speak, bro. Specifically, if whatever Buggy's greatest treasure is, he keeps inside of his nose, and he can pop it off.
It's
and
coke.
Then, like, you know,
It's right in his nose.
no, but no, if he's got some dance powder hidden up in there, like no, but the thing is, like, yeah, what if he was like in a moment of confidence, he's like he and like pops his nose off, and he's like, let me look at this treasure map again or something like that. Let me just like bask in the splendor of this wonderful like artifact, and then like these monkeys show up out of nowhere and then just straight like jack his nose like while he's in a moment of weakness. I'm trying to make it make
like
sense.
Buggy's Awakening. I'm just like waiting for like Buggy to turn into Sukuna from JJK, and like Buggy's Awakening is gonna like floor everyone. Y'all aren't ready. I've been saying that. Like, it's more impressive for me to think about like that Buggy and Shanks were on like Roger's crew when Whitebeard and Roger were fighting, and all that hockey's pouring off, and just Shanks using hockey on his crew was knocking his people out. Buggy and Shanks were kids, and they were like, "Oh dang, man, we gotta fight. Square up, Blackbeard. We're coming, Teach. We're coming." Like, that's wild to me that they were children not passing out from the like exuberance amount of hockey being displayed on that battlefield. Something. Not just
Maybe
Shanks like, "Oh wow, hockey man."
Whitebeard weren't actually all that cracked out.
Hey man, if that's how you want to perceive the series, and like
the way that
that's your agenda piece, I guess.
The way that I see it is that like we saw Rayleigh is able to basically incapacitate individuals within a range, but he can choose people to not incapacitate. And specifically, he chose to not incapacitate the Strahds. But then he looks in the auction house and he sees some of the other supernovas, and he's like, "Wow, I didn't hold back on those guys." So there are individuals you could hold back on, and other individuals that you can't. Once you've reached
it's the same as a swordsman. You choose what you can and cannot cut.
Yeah, and in that same degree, it's that he might be like trying to put his own pirates through the ringer, like get good, get used to it, while sparing the people who he thought it would absolutely crush. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just can't wait till like the day where like Shanks is like, "Oh, this takes me back," and Buggy's gonna be like, "You don't even match the captain," and Buggy's gonna use Conqueror's hockey, and you guys aren't ready. Yeah. Buggy's gonna cook on like some like major stuff. Sukuna Buggy's gonna happen. Stampede converted it. Buggy's gonna have a major freaking role, and I'm excited.
I think it'd be wild if is he a Logia or Paramecia?
Paramecia. He's gonna Sukuna, dude.
Yeah, it'd be insane if his awakening he could affect the surroundings and separate and build his own stage, his own domain, like you're saying.
I've been thinking like it's gonna be like at an atomic level, almost like Gillidards from Fairy Tail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like Shiapoof from Hunter x Hunter as well, like the Beelzebub ability where he's just able to like split himself into like billions of nanoscopic, like subatomic, like little tiny and like even the world around him.
That's crazy.
Like,
why couldn't he also
just restructuring matter,
like with will and imbuing his devil fruit with like his hockey for his awakening? Like, why couldn't he look at someone and cut them in half, or like rip them apart with his devil fruit as well? Not like kill them, but like do what he does to himself.
Law. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm telling you,
I would love to see it, but I'm honestly, and I hate that I'm so on board with this, but I'm honestly on board with the fact that it is not a Paramecia. Like there are just two other fruits that I feel like alongside the Nika are absolutely like on par with, or potentially actual mythical Zoan god fruits as well, and Buggy's is one of them.
Reshape them. Oh my god, Will of Dreams. In chat, could you imagine Buggy like tears you limb from limb and puts you back together in a really fucked up way?
And then you have to live the rest of your life like that?
Yes.
Yeah, Sanji was reshaping people's face with his feet and stuff like that. So I mean, it's not something we haven't even seen before. We've definitely seen it, you know.
That would be so funny.
Goodness, man, I love cooking on One Piece. It gets me so giddy. I just like want to like just keep gushing. If you guys were had to pick a favorite moment from Wano, what would be your favorite moment? Because as everyone knows, hot take, Wano's still my favorite arc.
I think my moment, like, there's so many, but for like characters, I would say Sanji telling Zoro, like, if I'm not who I'm supposed to be or who I am, you have to kill me because I'm not gonna be able to be who Luffy needs.
Especially right after Whole Cake, man. That line hits so hard.
Yeah,
Like he's
bro.
like, I'm
And
gonna
Zoro's
stay.
response, like, well, you better not die until then. Like,
Exactly.
oh,
Bro, it hits for me.
What about you,
I
Tree?
don't
What would be your favorite?
I really like Luffy and Zoro reuniting.
Dude, as a week to week, not having Zoro for years, and like the fandom reacting the same way as we've like Zoro. Oh man, I remember watching King of Lightning read that chapter. I remember, man. It was like that moment for the community was so good. And then I remember everybody when it got to the anime, and everyone was like, "This is perfect." I love Wano. Sorry. How about you, Vex?
It was almost like after the time skip when we got everybody back again. It was just,
Oh
reunited.
Man, that month break for the freaking time skip when Luffy put down his hat, that was like my first long break in One Piece ever, and I was like, "What do I do with my life? I have nothing to because like Naruto would go on the break, then Bleach would go on the break, and then I'd be like, okay, I'll always have One Piece, but like for like a month, I was like, I have to interact with people and make friends. What do I do? I can't sit at my computer." Vex, what was your favorite moment from Wano?
It's so hard for me to pick, and I don't want to give like a disingenuous answer, but like legitimately the most hype I think I was in all of Wano. And this is like a placeholder answer, and I'll have to get back, like honestly, because there's so much of Wano, and I haven't really rewatched through all of it or reread through all of it. Just like I've cherry picked like moments, and I really loved. With some honorable mentions, really quick. I really loved the flashback to Sanji wanting to feed the rats, and then like the little that was just such a great moment in the Sanji Queen fight. I love the whole Sanji Queen fight so much. Queen is my guy, and that is a segue to probably my hypest moment is when Homeboy said "Zumu Zumu 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 Zoom," and there was like the rave lights and shit like that. Like it was crazy in the anime, like absolutely insane. I was so hyped. I was like, "Is this One Piece? Like, what am I watching?" And it just took me. I had like an out of body. Yeah, I had an out of body experience when I saw that, and I think that is probably like my placeholder answer right now. But there's so many good moments in Wano, like Zoro just being like so freaking cold, and like he's like, well, sorry, can't keep a low profile back in Act 1. Like, oh, dude, there's so many good moments, and especially like what TJ said, like I love that interaction.
Oh, dang! When everyone's like undercover and just like living in Wano for a while, that's also I really liked that.
Usopp selling the toad oil.
My favorite part of Wano, and everyone knows this, so
Is
I'm
it the
sure it's gonna.
flashback?
Yep, it's the Odin flashback, man.
Of
I don't
course.
think then now y'all gotta I mean, like reading that week to week, man, and not seeing Kinemon and everyone walk up to the shoddy freaking boat. Like my heart was breaking, and I was like, "There's no way. Where is Luffy?" And then see like Orochi, the most hated character, be like, "I already five-headed you, stupids," and I'm like, "No!" Like it literally, like it was like heartbreaking, and then immediately into a flashback, and everyone's like, I was the biggest like I love getting into like doing like memes and being into the community and like just like memeing it up and being like, man, what has Odin really done? Because Odin's been bumming it around and his country has failed for the last 20 years. And I was just angry because I was like, what has Odin really done? The flashback for Odin reading it week to week, making me eat every single word I wanted with me loving my favorite character in the whole series. Dude, what a I love the flash. And then to top it off, as the flashback ends, the return of Luffy, Kid, and Law with that triple spread. When you're on the sea, you fight with pirates. Oh my heart. Everything about like my love for One Piece as like the war on Onigashima like started, like even like just before they even got to the island, Usopp already taking care of everyone else on the like island, and they're like, oh, there's guard towers, and Usopp's like, chill, I already did it, like with a slingshot. Like like I don't know, something about like after the Odin flashback like revved my gears like to the max, and it still does to this day, even just talking about it. Like Odin flashback
for
Odin.
me, yeah, for me the most hype moment of the flashback, and it's not to detract anything from Odin, I love my guy, but we had been hyping up Roger for thousands, like 1,000+ chapters, and like it, and just I loved in the anime as well the way they did it. But like you see like Scopper, Gabon, and Rayleigh just like, oh wow, that guy's got some serious hockey, and then like Roger just pokes his head in between them, and he's just like, hey, you guys should sit this one out. I don't want y'all to get hurt, and then he just skips to my Lou, my darling, as happy as can be, just an ultimate freaking Sigma Giga Chad, like just galactic Chad, just like absolutely just like goes and wrecks this boy across the beach, and like I loved that so much. That was like crazy. That might be one of my other like hypest moments.
Even though it was an Odin flashback, we got a lot of Roger and Whitebeard in their prime, or I guess you'd say in their prime. So that was really nice to see.
I'd like to two honorable mentions that we haven't brought up is one, I personally really liked Luffy and Kid in their training arc in the prison.
Oh, dude, it was amazing. I actually loved Udon so much, except for like the Lin stuff. Like that was a little bit much for me, but the Oshiruko stuff was great as well. But like I don't know, the amnesia bits were like but Hyogoro is an absolute goat. I absolutely love him, and he needs to be protected with all of the might of Wano. I love him so much. But that was so good, and I loved Udon for the most part.
Then the other one is when Roger asked Whitebeard if he could borrow Odin. I really liked that whole interaction. He's like, please, I need him. I don't got long, buddy. And Whitebeard was like, you're my rival, but I respect you.
And then when he got back, he's just like, hey, you want the One Piece? And Whitebeard's just like, nah. Like, nah, I'm good. Like,
big dick energy is what we call that.
Moby Dick energy. That's
Can
what we call
get
that.
Much higher?
Oh my god.
Oh
crazy.
No.
Oh my goodness. But no, I mean, favorite moments in Wano is such a hard question because yeah, like I would even be hard pressed to just pick one from each act. Like honestly,
I feel
there's
like
so many good moments.
Wano is like 1/5 of One Piece. it really feels that way.
Yeah. No, it's like it's
the
it's
build up because of like way back when Luffy and Law had that conversation on Punk Hazard of which like Yonko they wanted to touch. Like I have been waiting so long, and I mean like in Act 1 when Luffy got one tapped. Oh my goodness, that was so fulfilling. I can't tell you guys. Like it was like yes, it's happening, and it like. To actually see him like get locked up and like, no, you're not ready for this level yet. Like, thank you, it's happened. Like, it's say it.
You're gonna make me say it. Like you said that we've been building up since Punk Hazard. We've actually been building up since Thriller Bark when we first hear about the
when Gecko Moria lost to Kaido, dude. Like
and well Ryuma, like
that?
Ryuma.
I wasn't week to week back then, but I see what you're saying. Like I get it.
Everything comes back to Thriller Bark, y'all. Thriller Bark is top 3. Like it's just
not my
it's
top
plain and
3.
simple. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we've been like Wano was like. It's crazy because I talk about the tipping point in One Piece. Like he was originally planning on wrapping it up like much sooner, and then like partway into the intro of like the Alabasta saga and things like that, he just started to open up a whole other can of worms and just like really expand. And I think that we really get to see the full depth of everything that he was setting up all the way back. Like the groundwork was laid in, and there's definitely some moments beforehand that we can see him like pulling it like in Jaya. It was huge and pivotal as well. But Thriller Bark is where it's just insane how every single chapter has at least like 5 or 6 different panels that make me scream like Thriller Bark, yes, yeah, like like every single time I pull up like the scans and like read the officials and stuff like that, I'm like literally like jamming my finger into my phone like yeah, exactly, like it's insane how much I see in every single current chapter it calls back to Thriller Bark, and it all Egghead long and all Wano long. It's been like that for me.
On the flip side of everything comes back to Thriller Bark and talking about Thriller Bark a lot, an arc I feel I never hear people talk about in a positive light is Fishman Island. What's up with that? It wasn't
I
that
love
bad,
Fishman Island.
right?
So the lore is spectacular, but I think that it suffered from a lot narratively in that it was post time skip, like the first introductory arc, and we're getting to see some flexes, but really Oda played his cards extremely close to his chest. We find out that Luffy could have gear forward as soon as he squared up with Hody, but he didn't need to, and things like that. And like Punk Hazard kind of suffered from a little bit of this. And again, I love the narrative and like bits and the lore and things like that. But when you look at it as a story structure and whatnot, it is so hard to follow Marineford and post war like ASL flashback and things like that, and seeing like there's so much significance in Fishman Island, but it did not have like an actual driving singular antagonist. We got two very half like deflated like antagonists, and the moral behind it was that like, oh, there's no like bad sappy backstory as to why this guy does what he does. He's just racist. But like it embodied like the hatred that like, and like there's a lot, like I said, narratively that I think is great, but it just suffered so bad from where it was placed in the story, especially because it was built up for so long. We thought we were going to Fishman Island like 300 chapters before we actually got there.
I remember being upset that after the time skip, when they all met back up, Luffy was like, hey, watch this, hockey, boom. And then we didn't get like any of that in like all of Fishman Island. At least I don't remember like any extreme exertion of conquerors from Luffy during that arc after he had already
he did knock
it.
out like 10,000 fishmen or whatever,
Yeah,
like as far
like
as his conquerors feat
or whatever it was.
What?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
What? No way, that's
What?
like the biggest moment of Fishman Island. Like right after he comes out and they're like, yeah, we're sending an army after you. And Zoro and Sanji are like, huh, I'm gonna take out more than you. And Luffy pushes them aside and he's just like, wow. And he like knocks out a major ton of them. It's so good. It's like one of like the cool, like I love fish. I just love One Piece. I'm the hype guy. It's a really hard time for me to talk bad on something unless I think it can be improved upon. But like,
no,
One Piece is my favorite work of fiction.
Fishman Island is still amazing, but I would say it is near the bottom of my arc lists. And nothing in One Piece is like actually bad, but I think that is
it's just less enjoyable than most of the
stuff. Yeah, like
I don't think it's near the bottom of my list.
I think what you guys are referring to, I was thinking happened on Sabaody Park. Sabaody. Why it gotta be that hard to pronounce, man?
Sabaody.
Sabaody. Yeah, that was so ridiculous. Or Shabaody,
how many times can you say bobo 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 in a row?
0.
It's bobo bobo bobo.
Bobo 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 bobo.
Bo.
No. It's bobo bo, and then double down. Bo.
Yeah, you have to count. Bo.
Yeah, it's 8. It's 3, then it's 1, then it's 4.
Bo.
It's like a polyrhythm.
Dude, it's literally ingrained. Stop playing with me.
Bo.
It's literally like a polyrhythm, like in a drum beat. Like it's so funny to me. Like
it's ingrained. It's upsetting how much my childhood was affected by that, especially because JJK 236, Stupid Survivor. Tenosuke came back the same way that my goat will come back. It's all coming together, baby. Please, I
Hear me
threw out the heaven and earth alone. The coping
Wanzi
one.
versus Bobobo. Who wins? They both have nose hair powers.
Oh, Bobobo. He literally. It's not nose hair power. He literally has. Go up, Dylan. You're about to. I see it.
What? Oh, I was stretching.
saw this.
I was stretching.
I thought you were. Bobobo has literal like on like border Toon Force. Bobobo can literally warp the fourth wall like it's nothing, but like to an effect that like if it's
Bobo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my goodness. That is insane.
That's
No, I mean Wanzi has like borderline Toon Force as well though, because it's not like he has a ramen fruit. He is using like life control to alter his like like body and move his hairs around like Kumadori was doing in order to chop up like and process these ingredients, and then once they're noodles he can like do kind of like Polly's like rope action where he's able to like this dude has borderline Toon Force stuff as well. I don't think it's
he gets no diffed by Bobobo. It's just like
I don't know,
that
man.
easy.
I think Wanzi's him, dude. Like,
you can think that, but it's like comparing Bocce the Fly to like Bocce the Goat from that one show.
oh my goodness.
Was it Lil Bocce, Lil Kingdom guy who's deaf? Love you, Bocce. You my guy. Maybe. I think that show is controversial for a reason. Never mind. Not my guy. Screw you, Bocce.
This conversation is a roller coaster, Cody. But
isn't it? Isn't that what is that one show? Ranking of Kings. Thank you.
Are we talking about
one?
Boji?
Boji, yeah. Boji the Fly. Did we lose someone?
No, I think we're good.
Not from what I can see.
We're good.
But no, what is let's do another quick question, like since we're talking about old throwback like animes and stuff like that. Like what was like the most goated throwback anime that we haven't already spit about on this stream so far?
Kekaishi, where like it's a 14-year-old boy with a 16-year-old girl who have opposite family heads who like guard a school, and they have to stop it from yokai attacking it, and they have to use a specific barrier technique that's been passed down throughout their families. Kekaishi is like one of the coolest like throwback animes. If you've never watched it, you should watch it.
Sounds familiar. I'm trying to picture in my head and I just can't.
My favorite anime is Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
Oh man. Who's your favorite character? And why is it virile? No, I'm kidding.
Not it. His favorite is freaking. I already know it is Kamiya.
Dude, how can it not? He's him. He's him before Gojo existed. Fight me.
Virile is the freaking goat, bro. After like the amount of development that like this was like a full Vegeta arc that played out like right.
Yeah, because Keaton's not right there. Okay, spit on Keaton some more. Like the series didn't already dog him enough.
Bro,
I mean, listen. When you find out Kamino wasn't a one-dimensional character and everything he did was to help prepare Simone, it's like the whole show is really well written.
Yeah, when you see like the full like the skeletons of the millions of other past iterations that like haven't been able to succeed, like that all paved the way for that. Like, oh, dude, like that cyclical kind of like, I love that so much. And I want to say something about like a piece of media that it refers to, but in case one of my friends is watching and he's not caught up on that media, I can't say what I want to say. But it's like one of my favorite episodes of a thing that I like a lot.
I could say this instead. Has nothing to do with what you were probably going to say, but the movies for Gurren Lagann, which is the first half and the second half, pre-time skip, after time skip, are finally getting English dubs coming out next year.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Like I was gonna say Code Geass because it's like kind of in that same like era, like
that's good.
Just like absolutely goated. Like
Code Geass is like Death Note and Gurren Lagann had a child.
What's your favorite anime of all time, TJ? Before I go off about Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Well,
we're going for throwback anime with this question specifically. So like I know you're a Lupin the Third fan. Is that gonna be your answer though?
I was actually gonna say Zatch Bell.
Whoa!
Oh,
I
man.
love Zatch
Oh,
Bell, dude.
I mean,
are you reading
like,
the continuation?
no, I have not. I mean, like people have hyped it up like Eden's. I don't know if you know Eden's, but he's told me about
Yeah.
it, and he's like, get on it, get on it. I'm like, I got to. Eventually, I'll get to it, but I don't know. I Kyo, I guess you could call him the main character, one of the main characters. Like in the beginning, he hated life. He's like super smart. Everybody's kind of like
Metabots.
envies him for his intelligence, and he doesn't know how to get along with anybody. So he's basically secluded himself from society in a way. Like he'll leave class if he wants to, even though he shouldn't. He should be there to interact with people and be in society. But Zatch Bell completely changes that throughout the story. He's slowly getting to know people, how to interact with people, how to actually call somebody his friend, and how to basically save somebody. Even like I think in the beginning he wouldn't save anybody. He wasn't gonna save Zatch Bell, a little kid that's getting beat up by like a 15-year-old. But slowly he just learns how to change himself and be a better person. I just like it
No,
overall.
that is good because I never really read too much into Zatch Bell when I was watching it like on Toonami week to week. I just remember the little duck kid and his great
Yes.
and strong Poco
Hmm.
invincible. Like that will forever
Peak.
be inside of my mind. That shit was peak, yeah.
And it's just like One Piece. It's super duper fucking oops, sorry, super duper freaking goofy.
You're good, dude. We're like far enough into the industry where I think at this point we're probably already past that point, or nobody like the YouTube checkers won't get this far. But yeah, no, I definitely like my roommate. I'm actually moving out like tomorrow, so he won't be my roommate anymore. But my roommate is like super into Zatch Bell, and like he's reading the because it's like a monthly. It's not like a weekly, but he like every time a
Yeah, I've
new
heard it's
chapter drops
monthly.
from the continuation, he checks it out, and he cannot stop raving about it.
See, I think that's how I beat. So that's maybe one reason why I'm not into it, because it would just completely just change my mind, and that's all I'd be thinking about. But yeah, I definitely gotta get on it.
From what my guy
Uh,
says, he definitely recommends it.
yeah, I definitely need to get on it. Like, I've heard Eden's hype it up. I've even heard like people in my family hype it up. So I'm like, man, I gotta.
Kakaishi does
But
have a
yeah,
white dog and black dog, just like JJK. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Does that mean Sailor Moon is the
Oh,
opposite of Kakaishi? Because they have
Kakaishi is
they have a white and black cat. I'm not crazy.
Kakaishi is crazy good though. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's like really mind blowing to me that like I've never brought this up because every time I always forget about it and I think about it randomly. I remember the killer theme song that came out for it, and it was one of those Adult Swim like
yeah, no,
hidden
I
gems.
remember seeing like one episode and then never seeing it again. But like I don't remember anything about the episode. I just remember the name. So like when you said it, it like unlocked a core memory for sure. But I have no recollection of anything I saw from it.
is it
It's
from like the early 2000s?
yeah, it's around the early 2000s, 2010s maybe, but I remember just like staying up really late at night to having to watch it and like, like seeing Japanese culture that was so normalized, but then like seeing those traditions broken in a youthful sense in the main character, like he would have to wear these traditionalist monkish robes to go hunt out the yokai, but he would always wear his sneakers because I can't run and chase ghosts if I'm wearing these stupid clog hoppers, like the traditional like sandals. He would always wear his sneak, and I always loved like that breaking of like traditionalisms to modernisms in the show too. Like it was a really cool show. I don't want to
I
spoil
remember
too much.
seeing that, and it reminded me of like what was it, Kikaider, like and like I always I think I'm like blending the two in my mind, because I barely remember anything about either of them. But I remember watching like that show like a good bit, like in the Adult Swim days and stuff like that.
Inuyasha from Will of Dreams, that's a really hit or miss show because I grew up watching all of that too. And man, I had to wait so long for the final act to come out, but Yashahime broke my heart. Like, oh,
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
mm.
If you haven't like if you've never watched Inuyasha, I'm not gonna say I recommend it for you, but you absolutely need to do this to breathe. Look up the third ending song for Inuyasha. It is absolutely goated. Second to none.
I want to change the world. Ba ba ba. Dude, that opening, again, it slaps so hard. The Inuyasha opening one. They didn't even play that on Adult Swim. That's what's really got me fucked up.
Cody.
What?
You are my friend.
You are my friend. Ah. There's something about the long shot party that itches my brain too. Itsugakito boku wa. Don't stop. You playing with me?
Yes. Bro. When she asks, "What are we?" We are fighting dreamers.
Dude, I remember like, I remember everyone was like really upset when AN Desk came out, and I was like, guys, this is the last happy opening we're probably gonna get. Enjoy it. No, it was the dancing one. Everyone really didn't like the dancing one. They're like, why are Sakura, Sai, and Naruto doing a Mega Blast? And I was like, listen, guys, it's the last bit of fun we're probably gonna get unless we get another filler arc. Probably enjoy this. And then no one died. So I was like, oh, okay, neat.
Oh man, the Willow Dreams just shouted out Outlaw Star, and that's one of my. So that was actually the very first anime I ever watched.
Big O,
Start
Nasty
to finish.
Ninjas. Big O, you remember Big O?
Big O was I was not too big into it, but like the opening theme song was my shit. But real quick to say, like Outlaw Star was literally the first anime I ever watched start to finish. Like I was watching DBZ and Pokemon and stuff like that beforehand. Pokemon still isn't finished. Dragon Ball wasn't even close to finishing.
Oh, hold up!
Like 5 years old.
Pokemon's finished now. Ash's story is done.
Okay, Ash's story is done. They're still gonna milk that cash cow though. Like,
listen,
the thing is, like,
you're talking about the Boruto version of Naruto. Or sorry, the Boruto version of Pokemon.
Don't start this because Vex is a Boruto defender. Don't do this to me, Dylan. We're 3 hours into stream. I can't do it.
You see, like 30 years down the line, Bash catch him. Like wanting to bash them all. Or no,
Jesus.
Vex is the one who almost convinced me to start Boruto. I was literally about to do it until Dylan talked me out of it.
Dude, I'm just gonna say one thing. The scans for this last chapter that just, oh my freaking god!
I got angry. I got angry from what I saw on Twitter, and I'm angry.
No, dude, it is so perfect. Actually, like it is crazy. Like I was shouting.
Nobody else could do it with this fucking wannabe.
No, dude, you have you. I want to say so much more. I was only gonna say the one thing. This most recent chapter is gas, bro. It is crazy. I'm not gonna say anything about like.
Hey, what are your guys' favorite anime openings? And I don't just mean the music. I mean the music and the visuals along with it.
Where Our Blue is
Konosuba season 2 is definitely up there. The song is called Today, I think, by I think it's the same people who did no, it's a completely different band. I'm sorry.
JJK's second opening for me, because that literally the first JJK opening got played 397 times apparently in a day by me, and I was like, no way. And then somehow on my Spotify records I looked it up, and Where Our Blue Is overtook that three times over. Just this summer. It was my song of the summer. I miss my guy. Sorry, Throughout Heaven and Earth I Alone, and every time I listen to it, like it just reminds me of the good times, and I always have the good times. Like that opening and everything about JJK season 2 Hidden Inventory was so freaking why?
You want to talk about the most visually stunning opening that I think I've probably ever seen though? It's got to be
Part 2.
Magus Pride season 1.
How dare you put JoJo Part 2 opening up there as like.
That's not even the top. Like part 1 is in
Thank you.
Times better, bro. A million times better. But no. I was specifically gonna say like Ancient Magus Pride season 1, the opening, which is the song is absolutely breathtaking, which is Here by Juna. But the visuals are so like Ghibli-esque and beyond. I would even say that it is insane how beautiful that opening is, and I will forever appreciate it with all of my heart and soul. It's one of my absolute favorite anime of all time. Season 2 has been actually killing it. I was a little bit trepidatious at first, but
I can't
super good
believe
so far as
the
well. And I waited like
disrespect.
years.
JoJo Part 2 opening, like Bloody Stream, or Naruto Sign. Like collectively, the imagery, the words, the way it sounds. One of
Naruto.
those two is
the
my
the
favorite.
number one Naruto opening, in my opinion, visually and like auditorially, will always be Tomeda Tatsakai, which is like the song from the
Opening
Pain arc.
7, the Pain arc.
Yes. Oh
What?
my
Sign
goodness,
is
bro. That is.
also from the Pain arc.
I mean, it's cool to
Sign
be
is the
second
one
place,
where you
you
have
know?
Sign is the one where you have Sasuke and Itachi and the parallels with Naruto and Jiraiya and both things, and then like
I don't know, man. This like the
it
song
gets
and like
me.
the Sasuke
It gets
retrieval
me.
arc where it's like I forget what it's called, but Seshun whatever, like the way it talks about like tears flowing down the river of cheeks, the way they want to meet again as friends, and the way that like they like there's an irreparable bridge that they can't form, but he wants to so bad. It's just like the way that the imagery like in the song spoke so close of Naruto and Sasuke's relationship made me like,
Bruh,
oh, I
Sign.
really
Look
liked a
up-
girl
look up
in
the-
school.
Look up the English translation for
I
Sign, dude.
have.
It talks about the
like-
pain and like how they relate to one another, but they can't. And then it's also it's pain. Like as the antagonist, it's so everything wraps into itself so well. It gets me.
I will
And then
also say
Bloody Stream just
the
makes my ADHD brain go pretty colors. Word.
But I have to bring it up
It
at least
sound good.
once a stream. Ever since I brought it, ever since the Sapphire Scale stuff, I have to. But the Hosuke no Kuni like opening, like the Land of the Lustrous opening, is a masterpiece, and Studio Orange absolutely did not have to go so hard on the visuals for it as well. And that song is some next level prog that I never knew I needed. It's so freaking beautiful. It's peak. It's so good. It's amazing. TJ, I want to hear you spit.
Yeah, TJ, I haven't heard you speak.
For a hot minute.
And I got another opening I want to talk about, so I need to hear TJ before I start another tangent.
Before I give mine, I will say that I do gotta go. So thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. But Attack on Titan, like whenever you hear that opening, the first opening, you want to salute. You get up, you feel like you're a Titan, like you're about to smash the motherfuckers. So that would be my answer.
Yeah, I blew my speakers out way back in the day listening to that. Great answer. Like,
what's the?
But no, let's give our guy a proper outro here.
Yeah, let him get his plug his stuff. Shout his stuff out.
Yeah, we gotta shout it out to the GOAT. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, like I literally my day one entering into the One Piece community, I remember seeing you. And it's been such a wild journey. The like for the past like almost year that I've been active. I have no, but like for real, you are such a GOAT. You are such a positive influence in the chats, and I'm so glad to see you doing successful on TikTok.
We are 3 hours in. If we do want to start signing off, we could also plug Tree.
Yeah,
I just gotta give my boy, the little garden, his flowers. You know, his little flowers.
Thank you for the kind words. And right back to you, like the same thing. I've seen you in the community the same amount of time, and just seeing you like do what you do for the last arc and what you even do for other channels, other communities. It's wild. It's wild what what we'll all do, for the community.
Yo, making connections.
Yeah, I'm super happy to have brought you on, bro. Like it's been a long time coming, like I said.
You should DM me your TikTok so I can follow you for your Power Rangers content.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Dylan's a huge Power Rangers fan. I'm upset we didn't get to talk about it.
No, it's
we'll have to do another stream. Yeah, I would be super happy to have both of you guys back on. Absolutely, it's been so much fun. But TJ, like for real, I just could not let you go without telling you that you are just so freaking goated, and it's been so great seeing the community blossom as well as you. And like I don't know, I felt like I had like a front row view of it. Just seeing you like become like this like cool like I don't like it's crazy, and like I remember by like hanging out back in like print streams, like way back at like still in post Wano and stuff like that. It's been crazy, and it's been so good to have you on.
It's been a journey. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Like, I'm really hyped. I was hyped to be able to get the opportunity, and I'm happy to be on here. So thank you for that.
Thank you for spitting.
Yeah,
It's
man.
always you've been nothing but kind to me ever since you found me on TikTok. I didn't even know you were TJ. I didn't even know you were Little Garden. Like we have been homies for longer than I thought we were. Like it is absolutely stellar to see you grow and like come out of your shell and interact with you more. And I hope we get you out here more to spit with us because this has been nothing short of a delight. I absolutely loved having you on here.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I would love to be back on for sure. Definitely.
All right, man. Have a good night. We're gonna give our flowers to Tree now, but I know you gotta go, so take it easy, bro.
All right, you too. Later, Tree. Is nice meeting you.
Yeah, take care, man.
You too. Stay safe.
Now it's time to sign out my brother from another mother, my twin flame, Cody on the right path of life. Hey man, then I'd be all like, I'd be all like, Tree is the worst person I've ever met. You know, break his leg.
Oh my god, I just peaked my mic so hard the last one. Oh my god.
But yeah, no, absolutely. He's like Tree is absolutely my best friend in the whole world. I love him. He's like he's the good Cody, I swear. Like if y'all want to see graded goated content from his Twitch, really great edited TikToks that like make sense and like amazing camera angles and lighting. Look at his backdrop. Mine's like, hey man, I'm trying sometimes. Tree's always thinking about it. He's always at this like 5 rank content mine, and I love him. And I've been wanting to get him out here to spit about One Piece for so long because he's been telling me how much he's enjoyed reading it and how much it like rekindled our friendship, and it's been really special to have that. So thank you for coming out here, and I want you to plug yourself because you should love yourself more than I love you.
Hey, I don't know if that's possible. That's a little gay, man. Whoa. No.
Little
goodness.
Oh my god.
He's like offended.
Hey. My name's Dylan. I'm Tree the Wolf on TikTok and Twitch. Those are really the only things that I'm like heavily active on. But I guess if you want to stalk me on other social medias, it's my everything. I'm in Gang Discord. Someone just plugged it. Let's go. 3-Day, absolutely goated, by the way, with how attentive they've been. Shout out them, honestly. Let's not talk about me. Let's talk about 3-Day.
No, we love 3-Day. We're gonna shout out 3-Day. Don't worry. You need to shout yourself out. This is the time.
I'm good. I'm Dylan, and I do things.
Right.
If I could just say, like, the vibes in your streams are super great, man. I loved when like the few that I've hopped in. I'm super upset that I haven't hopped in on more of them earlier on in my content digesting career. And no, yeah, you're definitely goated. And Cody is absolutely right. You're just such a well put together like streamer, and it like makes me super jealous. But definitely go check out like his channel on Twitch. It's super fun vibes, great retro gaming, and awesome conversation. And yeah, like I'm gonna be in there a lot more for sure. Gang is a hell of a fun Discord server. Make sure you join that as well. And yeah, 3-Day is the queen of the pirates. Like couldn't do anything without her. We love her with all of our hearts for sure.
All right,
But
I want the head coach to
notes?
sign them out. Vexus, you gotta plug yourself, like everyone where they can find you on TikTok posting for the last arc, all the behind scenes, the things that you and 3-Day do for us with the social link ups and everything. Be sure to catch the last arc tomorrow because Vexus got to play some TCG against Joy Boy Theories. I'm gonna ask what are the theories that I can be using to destroy Vexus in the same card game. So it's gonna be a wild stream. Thank you, Vexus. Thank you, 3-Day. Thank you for everything y'all do for this community in the last arc. You guys don't get enough recognition or your praises sung, I think. Like, you guys absolutely are pillars. No, nay, you guys are this ship that we need to guide us. You are the ship and the person who guides the ship. You are the actual stars guiding our way on our sextants and whatever else they use to measure angles to find out how they chart out maps. But yeah, y'all are amazing, and I love y'all, like, absolutely. And this has been Chadmirals, the podcast. I normally have someone else sign out, so this is really awkward, but I've been SSJ Cody. I'm just a guy who really loves One Piece. I've loved One Piece ever since I was a child. Be sure to catch more of my hot takes on Twitch, or see more of my hot takes on TikTok, where I'm constantly popping off about everything that I'm passionate about, and being able to share that passion with you guys has always been my dream. Thank you so much for having me on, and we'll catch you all at the next one. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Ayo.